going to start the show, and I'm going to get started right after this.
That's right. You got the double intro tonight, folks. So tonight we're doing something a little different. Let me bring in Kenny. What's cracking, buddy?
Howdy.
And we got Mr. Smasher Pass. Spongy, is that you?
Yeah.
Yep. So, as we all know, the NFL draft is right around the corner. So the question of the day, Kenny, what site should we use to determine the top 10 of each position group? That's a good question, isn't it? Because all the sites are a little different.
Might be PFF for that, but
I mean, you can do PFF as one end of the spectrum, and then you can pick anyone else to put on the other side.
I mean, it's just like, I'm looking at it like you know how much I like PFF. I mean, half the time it's like, are they actually watching the game? Like, you guys are looking at the numbers the NFL puts out. And we were talking about that Utah State wide receiver, and I said he's got the dropsies. You guys are like, well, he only had 5 drops. Okay, he only had 5 recorded drops.
Say the sites. I don't know. I didn't watch the games.
Well, that's the thing, is he had 5 recorded drops. There were many times a catchable ball was thrown, and yeah, it was a little bit out there, but he could still catch it, and he didn't.
Well, just to be clear, I don't want Jalen Royals. I definitely am not a supporter of him.
whoa.
I mean, he's not necessarily a terrible wide receiver. He's not.
Not on my list.
If they pick him up maybe in the late 3rd, early, sometime in the 4th, I would be okay with that.
I don't even have him in my top 50. Okay, top 20 I have him.
Well, I'm just saying, like, 3rd or 4th round, late 3rd, 4th, maybe even the 5th. If they can get him in that range, later in the draft, then okay. Basically, if he's a certified day 3 pick, then okay, I take that. But in the first 2 rounds, that's a hell no.
Oh, it's a hell until the dawn. No.
Y'all see that Tyler Shuck throw? Tyler Shoe or whatever.
Tyler Shuck, I believe it is. Yeah.
Did you see his throw?
I have not. Did he throw it 7 yards?
David, if I send it to you, could you pull it up on the big screen?
I'd be careful these days with the
true
stuff. I'm just saying, like, StreamYard and YouTube have been real pains in the ass about copyright
I
stuff.
think it was at the Combine.
Oh, you might be able to get away with that.
Yeah, if it was at the Combine, it might actually be copyright by the NFL.
Yeah, because the NFL don't F around.
But it's all over X right now.
I think if you talk about it, it's okay. But, I mean, if you're monetized, I think that's when you have to worry about it. I don't think we have to worry about it.
Throw some mayonnaise on and we'll get to it.
Mayo? You're putting mayo in your coffee?
I actually heard a story where a guy used to eat mayo every day for breakfast and it was expired.
Ew. It's really easy to make your own mayo, to be honest.
It might have been Will Levis.
Super easy to make your own mayonnaise, guys.
Making
I don't know. I like fry sauce, but you guys don't know what I'm talking about.
Fry sauce? No. Yeah, it's probably a dressing.
That's actually what restaurants and burger joints call it. It is. It's what restaurants and burger joints call it. So here I am, folks. I'm on camera. Mr. 194 stuck there for the rest of his life.
Well, weren't you at 198? What the
I
hell?
was at 198, and then people unsubscribed.
Then I
Ridiculous.
unsubscribed on all my burner accounts.
I don't have a single burner. Just heads up.
Oh, well, okay, that makes sense for one, but what about the other three? But that's fine.
Do 50-year-olds have burners?
Kind of hurt myself working out, so I got to put this here brace on. That's okay. Surgically repaired thing. And I when I say I work it hard, folks. Not what you're thinking.
Wow.
Surgically repaired thing.
Don't pull anything else.
But yeah, Sponge, I never showed you that. I thought I showed you that.
Oh.
I had bones sticking out, buddy. Like my wrist was literally tore up from the floor up. You know, it was like, I don't know if you can actually see the scar or not on camera. It's right there.
Oh, wow.
Sliced me open. There's two little ones on the side from where they put the pins to hold everything together in and pulled them out. Wasn't pleasant.
I just want to go on a rant real quick. On a rant on Yahoo Sports. Okay. I don't know if anybody else saw it, but Yahoo Sports put something out. Hold on. Let me get it.
So say what's good to Bryant. He's in the chat. What's up, buddy?
BC.
We got Steve-O Supremo.
Scuba Steve.
Ramsey. Oh, he's talking about Ramsey. A second to Miami? No, that I think that's what they gave the Rams for him. No thanks. They're not getting a straight across trade. They either get a 7th round pick or they get nothing.
They're going. Ramsey's going to the Rams. They want to win a Super Bowl, baby.
He already was on the Rams.
They want him back.
I'm not necessarily a fan because I mean Debo schooled the guy.
Yeah.
Every time they played.
I don't think he was very good last year, from what I understand.
But hey, John Jay, what's cracking, buddy? From the Bay Area.
What's up, everybody?
Yahoo Sports' Cobley Leibowitz suggests that the Eagles should look into a trade with the Dolphins, exchanging Devontae Smith for Jalen Ramsey, along with a pick swap.
Oh man, both those players sound horrible to me. Sorry, Sponge.
So how's everybody doing?
What's up, John Jay?
Yeah, Kenny, I'm with you on Toyotas, dude. Like,
Turd Racing.
yeah, my mom owns one, and it's I was literally been working on it. It needed a head gasket, transmission work. It's an all-wheel drive. It needed so much. It wasn't funny. I'm going, this thing don't even have 100K on it. Like,
oh, the 4Runner. You're lucky if it makes it to 100K.
those are like the 4Runners and the Tacomas are supposed to be the better ones, but
They're supposed to be.
I saw a Land Cruiser when I was minivan mayhem at work. I was driving around getting stuff, and yeah, they make me drive a minivan, folks. It's like, who'd I piss off? Okay, but I'm not a fan of minivans. I'm not gonna lie.
No. Unless you had one in high school, then it was a great place to score with chicks. You need the tints.
Maybe we can get him for a third.
Ooh, no.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That guy's a quitter, bro.
But so you guys want to use PFF for the top 10 position group?
I would say we'll see how it is the first time, and then
go for it.
If we have to change it up for for a later thing, we can.
You know what?
Now, I don't know about
Confused me.
evaluations for players, but as far as accuracy goes for drafts, they were 56th last year in accuracy for drafts, PFF.
Who was number one?
Number one was, I wrote it somewhere. Hold on. I don't know, but Fox was 3, San Diego Tribune was 2, and I forgot who was 1. I sent it to David. But Fox was 3 because they have satellites everywhere.
No, Pro Football Network uses
Zoom type.
uses thanks uses PFF. Thanks, John Jay.
Spongy, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your baseball team? Why is it bad?
Okay.
They've always been.
Well, Kenny,
Let's
shut
see
up.
if these guys will actually. I'm going to see if these guys will actually let me
The last
do it
Philly
before
player
I bring it on
was
screen.
Jimmy Rollins.
Do you not know who Bryce Harper is? Okay.
Yeah, Bryce Harper, but he's not a
All
Philly.
right,
He
so
was
now I gotta kill that.
Kenny, he's gonna be here for.
Jimmy Rollins was rookie of the year.
I think we have Mr. Harper here for another 10 years.
Put my mod on.
Homegrown players like Don Mattingly.
Now I can go StreamYard on my tablet so I can watch that.
I was actually
well,
there.
I'm on the PFF and it only let you do 3 rounds because it's cheat. It
Because
makes
it's
you
a pay.
want. I hate.
I was
That's
there
why I don't
on,
like PFF. Oh, we have
Wait,
to
can you
pay
do
money.
4?
You
Oh.
get enough money from everyone else.
Yeah, but you know what, David? We get 4 picks in the
Yeah.
first 3 rounds, so you would get 4. Just so you know.
I was there on Monday when we played.
So we could do 4 rounds
And,
and see the bogus
No.
grades that they give you. Even though, like I said, they were 56th in accuracy last year.
Well, a lot of these draft sites have Mimbo fallen to us. I just don't.
Well,
I
going
think
forward.
he's too good of an athlete to actually fall to 11.
on Membu falling to 4 like that.
that's where I
I
had
mean,
him going, but I think
he
that's
is a
little
right tackle
low.
too, so it's like
He's not a blindside guy. Who cares? Everybody can play right tackle. John Jay can play right tackle.
whoa.
I want the blindside guy, baby.
Okay, so who is that in this draft?
Kelvin Banks, the best, hands down.
Okay, but he's
tackle
not going number 4. I'm sorry.
He's not going number 4 though. No.
Exactly.
Dude, we're at number 11.
So they'll
I
take
know.
Will Campbell most likely because first of all, New England can use an interior offensive lineman, so
No,
Will
no,
Campbell
but-
would be perfect.
But Kenny, he has.
It
automatically added my other guy.
What happened, Sponge? I didn't hear you. Sorry.
He has tiny arms. He has
Okay, there we
T-Rex
go.
arms.
I know, but I said for interior offensive line in the Patriots, and he's a guy who's supposed to be. They say everyone says he's supposed to be like a pro in this league for the next 10, 15 years. So interior
I
offensive line
I
protect
still
Drake
think
May.
I still think my top 6 is solidified.
All right. So I'm watching for people to show up if anyone else shows up.
A lot of people, a lot of
Besides
new
it.
people have Genty going to the
We're
Patriots.
gonna.
A lot-
I mean, I can see it, but
That would cause chaos.
A good running back like that will help a young quarterback too.
But last year, the top-rated running backs didn't do shit. You had to go all the way to 5 and 9 until you found Tyrone Tracy and Bucky Irving. Everyone else did squat. Trey Benson was up there. Jonathan Brooks didn't play a single game. Go look at the top 10 ranked running backs.
see
last
with
year.
Jonathan Brooks,
God.
I think they knew that, and he had first-round talent. That's why he fell for the second.
I wonder if these guys are going to make me subscribe to actually look at the players.
A lot of the guys in the top 10 ranked running backs last year, you know what happened to them? They sat on people's benches in fantasy, and they never saw a goddamn game. You had to go to Bucky Irving and Tyrone Tracy to get any production from a rookie last year on running back. And Bucky Irving was ranked 7th.
All right, so that's messed up.
That's who I like. Quinshawn Judkins is my guy. I don't know where the hell he's ranked. Don't care.
Oh my god! I
That's
realized.
messed up. That's messed
So
up.
on Saturday, okay, we were doing the mock draft, and I had said something about Kyron Lacey, and he died.
Oh, that poor bastard.
And he died the next day.
I'm gonna cheat. We're gonna be the Tennessee Titans because they pick first.
That's actually really sad, bro. This is like the third year in a row where like a player has died or been shot or something crazy. Remember, Kyrie Jackson last year too.
Yeah, well, see with Kyron,
All right, hey, look, it's actually letting us see the players now. We have to go through a fiery hoop or two.
The Kyrie Lacey thing.
I'm not a PFF fan, folks. I'm not. Mm-hmm. Just so everyone knows, I'm not.
When it first came out, it said that he just did that in his house, but no, he did it because went on the run from the cops again.
Getting crazy out here, bro.
So all right. It says all position groups. Where are we starting? Hey, let's start with QB. That's
why I'm a big believer. If you make it, get the hell out of the neighborhood you grew up in, because your old friends will ruin everything for you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'll go last. Kenny, we're starting with you, buddy.
Okay. Am I picking a team or what's happening? What are we doing?
No, we're just doing smash or pass. Like, would you draft a guy or would you pass on him?
Oh, I'm drafting here. I have to take Cam Ward. We suck. We need a quarterback. And
No. I'm just saying, like, would you, if you were the GM, take this player?
Oh, okay.
Like any team.
Like any team, you're the GM. Would you take the player? So
Cam
Ward,
Kenny.
David, let's just say we're starting from scratch. Expansion team.
Okay.
The New Mexico Aztecs? Is that what you're talking about?
All right, Kenny. So Cam Ward, are you smash or pass?
I'm passing. I don't like the guy.
Okay. Spongy, Cam Ward.
Because he's very delusional.
So that's a pass. All right, John Jay.
I'll draft Cam Ward.
What's up, Terradome? What's up, Juice? What's up, Steve-O?
Terradome, what's cracking? Crazy Juice.
Terradome.
All right, well, when it comes to Cam Ward, if I was the expansion team, I honestly, I'm more into Shedeur Sanders than I am Cam Ward. So that's a pass on me.
Well, hold on. Does it have to be one of those guys? Because if I'm an expansion team, to be honest with you, I want a veteran quarterback. I know that's crazy.
No, it's just like if you're drafting.
Okay, no, then I'm passing.
Kenny, right now we're just going to go through the top 10 of every position group, and it's would you draft this guy or not? Okay. That's all we're asking.
Okay.
So that's all we're doing. So now we're on Shedeur Sanders, though. Kenny, would you draft Shedeur Sanders?
Okay, I have another question because, like I said, I'm very bad at following directions. Is it at 2 or at all?
It's at all.
At all?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At all.
I like him, but just not at 2. So, yes, I would smash his ass.
All right. That's what I like to hear. All right. Spongy, what would you do here, buddy?
Honestly, it's more of a, like, I'd say right now,
I see the quarterbacks now.
I'm thinking he might be a bit better than Cam Ward, but I'm still going to pass.
Pause, exactly.
Okay. Well, we could change it to draft or pass. All right. That way you guys feel better about it.
Still pass.
So John Jay, draft or pass? Shedeur Sanders.
I will draft Shedeur. It's a quarterback league. And I know you shouldn't draft the quarterback unless you really, really have to. But unfortunately, the league is not changing anytime soon. And when it comes to the quarterback position, you got to draft the quarterback.
That's true.
You don't want to get stuck with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. You know what I mean?
And I would take Shedeur Sanders. I've watched tape. He makes tight window throws. Yeah, he needs some developing, but every quarterback on this list does.
Listen, He gets a lot of knock about throwing only short passes, but I looked into that, and his deep throw passes are like 66%. Obviously not 74%, but it's still high for deep passes.
66 is a good completion rating, though.
So look it
So I would draft him. So Jalen Milroe, Kenny, draft or pass?
I'm smashing the draft on this one. I already I fucked up the
You
rules.
like Jalen Milroe?
Yeah, I'm drafting Miller. I do like it. I know his problem is accuracy, but Drew Brees learned to be accurate and Tom Brady learned to be accurate. I've fixed it.
Learn to be accurate. Okay.
All right. So Spongy, what would you do here? Jalen Milroe, draft or pass?
Yeah, I love Jalen Miller draft. Yep.
I know
So
he
draft.
takes Eagles in a minute.
Good backup for Jalen Hurts. John Jay, Jalen Milroe, would you draft or pass?
So this is my first pass. The stuff that I hear about him, again, all these quarterbacks, it's all speculation. We do not know. But when it comes to Alabama quarterbacks, what have they done in the NFL? Can anyone tell me? Because I can't remember.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl.
He was in Oklahoma when he got drafted.
Bama, too.
Okay,
He was at Bama, too.
OMA, Oklahoma.
So I have to pass. No disrespect. He could be good. You never know.
He could be the first. He could be the
You
first.
never
but
know. Anything could happen.
yeah,
It's like Ohio State quarterbacks. There's one in the league. That's
Juice
decent.
says Alabama quarterbacks are ass. I
Well,
trust them.
Crazy Juice says Alabama.
They're ace. No, that's a good insult.
Yep. So Turdo. So now all right, so it's on me. I would actually pass because of how much of a project the guy is. You know, it's gonna take it's kind of reminds me like Josh Allen type of thing. It took him years to come around. He wasn't a good player right off the bat. You know, I'm not saying you need that, but if it takes you 3-4 years to come around, you're probably not going to make it in the NFL. So Will Howard, Ohio State QB.
Ooh, I'm interested to see what John Jay. Can we start with John Jay?
Okay.
John Jay, I want to hear what you think about the Ohio State quarterback.
So a rule of thumb, the air raid offense is what Ohio State runs, which is basically shotgun and a lot of deep throws. And that's why their wide receivers are really good. That's why their corners are really good. That style that helps those secondary players and the wide receiving core. When it comes to when you translate a quarterback to that, I worry because a lot of quarterbacks that have come out of that system, when they have to be pros, you're not shotgun 100% of the time. You have to know how to be under center.
That's
and
right.
The biggest weakness for Ohio State quarterbacks is that they have to learn how to get under. Because, like, tell me what NFL quarterback is shotgun 100% of the time. I don't know. So I would always be cautious when you draft quarterbacks from Ohio State.
Yes, this is true.
You got to take snaps under center. You're not going to be prepared.
There's one guy. I think I looked up the numbers. It was 20 quarterbacks that were drafted out of Ohio State in the NFL, and there's one guy. That's not a good percentage, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying Justin Fields, so technically
Busting.
No, Sponge. You remember he's going to take the Jets to the playoffs.
Oh my god.
Spongy, we're saying good quarterbacks.
I forgot.
Kenny, what are you doing with Will Howard, buddy?
Okay, since I don't have to draft him first, and I feel like if he's there in the third and we don't have a quarterback, I would look at him only because he was surprisingly mobile. And of course, I agree. The snaps under center are a problem. That's my problem with Jackson Dart as well. And so that is a problem. But he actually ran the ball a ton and was kind of a stud, I thought. And he can throw the ball too. And so I like that. I do like that. And if I don't have to start the guy for 2 years, 3 years, then that's fine with me. So I'm going to draft.
Okay. All right, Spongy?
I'm gonna be honest here. I think me and Kenny are on a similar wavelength there. I mean, I'm gonna draft only because I one feel like he's a pretty coachable guy. You know, of course he brought his team to a national championship. I understand
With Chip Kelly.
with Chip Kelly, yeah. And I know he has pretty much a super team around him, but also he can still run the ball too. Like
If you watch him, he's really not bad at running the ball.
Yeah, he's not bad. You see, I think John Gruden.
Just the conditioner, Damien, is like
I
half
think,
that.
I think John Gruden said something about him.
Conditioner is better.
I think John Gruden said something about Will Howard and Josh Allen being similar players.
What?
I don't know how much I believe that, but I'm drafting.
Okay. I'm passing because he's an Ohio State QB and they just don't have a good history
You're insulting
in the
John.
NFL.
You have dishonored
So
John.
Riley Leonard from Notre Dame, Kenny, draft or pass?
I'm gonna draft because he's from Notre Dame, and no, I'm just kidding. That guy, I do not like him. I had 3 good reasons this morning, but I smoked a lot of pot in my life, and I already forgot. If I look for the comment, I can tell you. So why don't you go to someone else, and I'll try and find my comment, and I'll tell you the 3 reasons why I don't like Riley Leonard. So I'm a pass, but go ahead.
Okay, Spongy, Riley Leonard.
Real quick, I just want to point out Damien's comment, and I think that's where most of the salary goes. I'm passing on Riley Leonard. I don't think he's as good as some of the quarterbacks that are behind him as well. So
I'm honestly going to pass on him because from what I've seen, he's not as good as some of the quarterbacks behind him.
Okay, found my reason.
Same thing.
He crumbles under pressure. He has injury concerns, and he cannot pass the ball.
Yeah.
Those are my 3.
Well, can't pass the ball is kind of a
Even
big
though
deal.
I'm a Notre Dame guy.
Kenny.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on. I would not draft him.
Yeah.
And if you watch a lot of Notre Dame recently, they have changed their offense, and so he's like a dual threat quarterback, but he is like Taysom Hill. He runs the ball a lot. He does throw the ball, and so do you want like a Taysom Hill type of quarterback who in the NFL he's kind of been more of a wide receiver, but watch a lot of Notre Dame games. There are games where he has 20 rushes and only like throws the ball like 8-9 times.
Yeah, you got to be able to do both things.
Yes,
in my opinion.
All right, so we're on Jackson Dart now, guys. Which for some reason PFF has him ranked way down there.
Not surprised.
Most sites have him ranked the 3rd quarterback in the draft.
People have him going in the 1st round, for God's sakes.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone trades up in front of us at 11 and picks him. I hope they do, because then that's a player falling. But all right, Kenny, draft or pass?
Well, like I said before, and John Jay said about Howard, is that the guy doesn't take any snaps under center. That's one thing. He's taken like 10 this year, which is probably more than a lot of people. But he also, for me, can't look past his first read. And this is a guy who's usually throwing it to like some wide receiver who's wide open for 40 yards. And that's impressive. But I don't think it's going to happen in the NFL. You don't really throw the ball 40 yards.
It'll happen, but not as much.
So I'm a pass.
Ooh. So Hurts played 2 seasons at Alabama, got benched in the national title game, and Tua took his job.
Yeah.
So that's why I transferred to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And under Lincoln Riley, he made him a better quarterback, but that's a conversation for another time.
Listen, and I know
we're Jackson Dart though, Kenny. Did you already do the draft or pass on Jackson Dart?
I passed on him. Yeah, in fact, I took Milroe to the Steelers at the 21st pick. In my power 30.
Very possible.
Yeah,
Spongy, are you drafting or passing?
I do want to just point out real quick that I believe there's only one starting quarterback in the NFL in the top 100 most influential people. I just want to point that out real quick.
Is it Jalen Hurts?
And then that is Jalen Hurts.
It's true. I heard that.
top 100.
All right, we're talking
But
about Jackson Dart here.
I am passing on Jackson Dart.
Big whiffer.
All right, John Jay, draft or pass, Jackson Dart.
So I've actually been watching Jackson Dart, and I'm not sure why Mr. YTC would not, think about having, his Giants draft him. But again, he disagrees with me. But let's be serious. You should draft this guy. I think for whatever this website has him way low for some reason, I do think he may be drafted as one of these guys in the first round. And I'm not saying he's like better than Shador, better than Ward, etc. But I do think he's one of these hidden quarterbacks that no one has seen. And I'm not saying he's going to light up the league as rookie, but I do think that you give him time to develop under a veteran and he'll take over the team. We might see a guy who can carry a franchise. So yeah, this is a scary choice to get, but you never know. You never know what can happen. Everyone was talking about Josh Allen. Oh, when he was in with Wyoming. Oh, bad school, horrible passing, and he's become a solid quarterback in the NFL. So he could be like one of those guys. You never know. All these players we're talking about, we don't know, and I will still draft him. I think he's a good quarterback.
Okay. And I mean, when it comes to Jackson Dart, I'm actually going to draft. I mean, now we're talking anywhere in the draft. I'm not saying first round, but I would draft him. And some of his game translates, but his processing speed is what he's going to have to work on. So,
he's Jimmy G with an arm.
Oh boy.
Just my
Oh
opinion.
boy. Hopefully he has a better girlfriend.
There's not a lot of quarterbacks in this draft. That's the thing too, I mean.
Well, it is. There's like two, and then there's the rest, right? But now we're on Tyler Shaw from Louisville, the Gamecock. I just like saying that.
It's the Cardinals.
Los Cardinals.
Louisville Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals.
Is it the Cardinals? It's not the Gamecocks?
Yeah,
South
there it is.
Carolina.
It's the Cardinals.
The
My
Cardinals.
bad. I like saying Gamecocks. My bad. So, Kenny, are you going to draft or pass him?
You know what? I don't look this guy up because I don't think the Niners are going to take him because I don't need to look up quarterback. So I honestly can't tell you a great opinion or anything great about the guy. But what I hear are good things. I hear people really like him.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to say draft just on what I've heard. But I personally really don't know anything about the guy, if I'm being honest.
All right. Spongy, draft or pass?
I saw a very bad rep he had at the combine or some sort of pro day, it might have been, where he completely whiffed on a receiver, like completely. He actually underthrew him when the receiver was legit right in front of him on a slant route. Yeah, no, I'm gonna pass, especially for being 25 years old. Yeah, no, pass.
That's another thing. Yeah.
No.
All right, John Jay.
So first, when did Jimmy G get a girlfriend? Okay, I'm just joking. I'm just messing, Davey.
Girlfriends, I thought.
I'm just messing, Davey.
Thought he only dated porn stars.
Okay, I don't know too much about this kid, and because I don't, I'm not gonna just say anything. I'm gonna pass for now.
He's not a kid anymore. He's an uncle.
He is.
Oh,
Yeah, he's 25. He's 25. He's an uncle.
Probably be 26.
He's an uncle. You're right, Spudgy.
I'm going to be a grandpa.
No, I'm the grandpa, David.
So now I'm going to pass on him because he does have accuracy concerns. I don't think he's going to last long in the NFL. Dylan Gabriel from Oregon.
Ooh.
Now, he's a duck. Okay.
It's a duck.
So Kenny, are you drafting or passing the duck?
Like I said, I didn't cover the quarterbacks too much. Draft Buzz, even though their rankings are not up to date. Right now it says 320. So March 20th was the last time this was updated, says Draft Buzz, but they have him as the 8th best quarterback in this draft. He's 6 feet tall.
Mhm.
I mean, he runs a 4.8.
Yeah.
I'll tell you some stuff here. He was in the Senior Bowl.
Mhm.
Everything is red on this guy. If that's what you like, knock yourself out. I'm a no on him just based on this. I mean, look, all the ratings are 3s. I mean, and I trust Draft Buzz. They've been very good for the last 3 years.
Mhm.
They say he's severely undersized, limited arm strength, small hands, subpar athletic testing, struggles finding throwing lanes, physical limitations. That doesn't sound like a guy I want to draft, so I'm going to pass.
Okay. Spongy, what do you
You
got
know,
here?
for somebody of his height and his stature, I feel like you got to
Good
be
work.
able to run a little bit better than Dylan Gabriel does, because so that for that reason I'm gonna pass.
He's got a lot of experience, that's for sure. I mean, he's played a lot of snaps.
Experience, which may be a good, reason.
He could be developed. That's nice.
He could be developed.
He's a good backup, maybe. You never know.
It's a pass for now.
All right, John Jay, what do you got here, buddy? Dylan Gabriel.
So
Yo, here are the measurables, by the way.
in the words of my boy Crazy Juice, my sleeper is Dylan Gabriel. I've been fascinated with this quarterback, and of course, I've watched a lot of Oregon games, and there are moments where he has showed.
Up low.
There have been moments where he's shown potential, and of course, there's also been moments where he's like, "All right, that's a college quarterback." One of the things that I want to see is like where he's going to be drafted, because again, I'm not saying he's anything special. I would pass on him, but there have been a lot of quarterbacks that you described, Kenny.
Yeah,
Had a lot of those stuff. One of them is the great Tom Brady. He wasn't fast. He wasn't great. He didn't do really good, and he won so many Super Bowls. And
yeah, he wasn't great accurate wise, and he had a dad bod.
I look at Dylan Gabriel as a guy
baby hands
is my sleeper.
Like it.
So I think he could be a serviceable guy for a decade in the NFL. I'm not saying he's a starter, but he's a guy who can play. But I'm still gonna pass on him.
Okay. So now I'm gonna pass on him just because. I mean, it's the NFL and the college are two totally different games. And from what I've seen, I don't think his game's going to equate, is what I'm saying, right? And you know what? I forgot. I was going to start out the night by saying what I like, what I look for in college guys. So, I do watch tape to see what they're actually doing on the field. Do they do the dirty work? If they don't do the dirty work, I don't want them, right? Because you got to do the dirty work as well as do the glory work, right? But it's like, all right, so let's look at his college career. In his sophomore season, we'll say he's a defensive lineman. He gets 5 sacks, okay? 5 sacks gets 40 tackles, 15 tackles for loss. His or 10 tackles for loss. His junior season, he ascends. He gets, 8.5 sacks, we'll say. He gets, 45 tackles, and he gets more tackles for loss. He hits that 12-13 marker, right? And in his senior season, if he gets, he ascends even more. He gets 11, 12 sacks. He's hitting that close to 50 tackles and getting, like close to 20 tackles for loss. That's ascending. That's an ascending player, right? So he hasn't hit his ceiling, or you don't know if he's hit his ceiling. A lot of players, they'll start their sophomore year, they'll have mid numbers. Their junior year, they do pretty good. They'll get, 7 sacks, 40 tackles, 10 tackles for loss. All right. Then their senior year, they repeat their junior year. So they literally just plateaued. And I mean, that player typically, if they do pretty good, they'll end up being a solid rotational piece, or they'll be end up being a solid NFL player, but they're not going to be that guy that you can count on, put out there, and he's going to change the game. So basically, I look at players and I look at their career, and I see what have they done? Did they ascend or did they plateau? And that has a lot to do with the guys I like and the guys I don't like. So then you always run into that one guy that did great his junior year and his senior year. It's like he tailed off, and you're going, Oh,
What's that?
that's my phone. I don't have it on earbuds right now. I actually thought I had it turned down. But so now is when we move on to Quinn Ewers of Texas, right? Kenny, what are you gonna do there?
Okay. You know how much I love Kelvin Banks, so I've been watching a ton of Texas. Texas doesn't need any help, man. Texas is always a really good team. They produce good players. Cool thing about Quinn Ewers, okay? I mean, look at the ratings, okay? He's got, you never see that shit, okay? Got 5 stars from everybody from high school, college, to the pros. There's ESPN is the pro site. That's their evaluation. So everybody liked him at every level. Here's a cool thing. His comps are Bo Nix and CJ Stroud. Here's another thing. Born and raised in Texas, which I love for any football player. And I don't know if you guys know this. He got his first D1 offer in 6th grade. He blew it against Ohio State, for what I understand. He is not very mobile, in my opinion, but I'm drafting him.
You're drafting him.
Drafting Quinn Ewers. Not to start, but I'm
Spongy, what are you doing here?
I think this is honestly a guy you take on a day 2 or day 3 to bank on his possible potential.
Bank. I like that.
But I wouldn't necessarily.
Hell no. To the
Say
no.
he's a top 5 guy in this draft class right away, but it's definitely possible, even though I am drafting Quinn Ewers.
There's a bust. There's a boomer bust.
Think,
there's a boomer bust nature. You know what I mean? Like,
but I still think
yes,
there is somebody better behind Quinn Ewers.
Of course, there's a couple guys.
At least on this draft board.
Listen, and Lowe loves Brady Cook, and I think we would all love him more if he wasn't playing with a hurt wrist all last year. So he probably would have been a lot better.
There's another specific guy I see on the board who I like.
Yeah. I've called him White Lamar. Now I hope that's not racist.
There's a guy I see on the board I like more too.
That's my comp, White Lamar.
But the guy you're talking about is actually the 11th guy.
Hell no.
John Jay, would you take draft or pass on Quinn Ewers?
Quinn Ewers.
So I want to always, when I talk about stuff that I don't know, there's a guy who's a Patriots fan who's from Louisiana, and in his words, he is ass. And so because he watches a lot of SEC and he knows a lot of, of this stuff, he always says SEC quarterbacks, are boom and bust. But when it comes to the Texas quarterback, he's again like a Jackson Dart. You don't know what you have, but when you see him on the field, there are a lot of glimpses of like it make you smile. And it doesn't matter if he's in the 1st, 2nd, 7th, whatever, he's drafted. He will be drafted. So that's why I will draft him.
Real quick, he turned a lot of people off this last season because he regressed, and that's what people didn't like. I mean, his decision-making was ass, as you guys said, this season. And if you look, like I said, I was looking at Kelvin Banks a lot. Kelvin Banks was doing his job, and Quinn Ewers was running into goddamn sacks, and that's what made me mad about Quinn Ewers. But he's so highly regarded by so many people that I got to give him a chance.
All right. And I would actually pass on the guy because I did watch some tape and I just don't. It's incredibly iffy.
It's not impressive. That's what damn sure.
Yeah, it's incredibly iffy.
He's
the next guy, Kyle McCord. Kenny, draft or pass?
This is a guy I admit I don't know a lot about, but I know a lot of people like him. I don't really see it, but the ratings are real nice for him. Another comp is Bo Nix. I don't know why everyone thinks everyone is Bo Nix, but that's his comp. When I read the weaknesses, I don't like them. He apparently has no arm angles. He's very bad at throwing from different angles. He's got basic mechanics. He's got a lot of development to do, and I don't think we have time for that. So I'm going to pass on Kyle McCord.
Okay. Spongy, draft
Also-
or pass?
This is actually the guy I was talking about. This is the guy
Okay, thank you, Lo. I'm sorry, man.
I think is better than most of the guys that were above him. Kyle McCord has got to be one of my favorite quarterbacks in this draft. Because, I mean, first you got to look at the pedigree. I mean, first of all, he was at Ohio State. You know, realistically, he probably could have stayed and had a chance to start. But no, I'm still drafting him.
The word is if you protect him, he's good. So if you can protect him, he should be pretty decent in the pocket.
No, I like
Okay.
him. I think he
John
has some
Jay?
good running ability as well.
All right, so I actually watched them against, and again, Las Vegas is not really known. You know, they've had 2 quality years, but Las Vegas is not known for anything. But in that game, he showed a lot of like positive things during that game. I know he was playing a Mountain West school, and they're in the ACC, which is
Atlantic Coast.
which is a power conference. And on the other side of, in Nevada, they had this quarterback who next year could be considered one of these top guys, but that's a different conversation. But I do like him. There's a lot of things that are there, but he played in Syracuse. He's an Ohio State guy. And again, just like I said earlier, I will be cautious when it comes to Ohio State guys, so I would not draft him.
Well, football in the Northeast is not really fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
No offense. I'm from there. I'll be honest. We don't have a lot of colleges. I don't know why.
Now, I've watched some tape on the guy.
Ivy League schools, but
I've watched some tape on the guy. I actually think he's pretty good. But the another project quarterback though. There's a lot of project quarterbacks in this draft. So I would draft him. I'm not saying I would spend much capital on him though. So Curtis Rourke, Indiana.
This is our 10th guy, Coach.
well, I'll go real fast.
This is the 10th guy.
I'm going to pass. This guy only has height for me. He's limited in everything else, so I'm going to pass.
Okay, Spongy?
I think this is potentially a very good high-end backup in the league.
High end.
Or yeah, whatever.
Good
Like,
puns. I wish you knew that you were making these puns, Spongy.
I feel like he has drawn actually tons of comparisons to Brock Purdy.
Northeast, very close to where YTC is from, Lo. Do you know YTC?
I think he's a big he's definitely not mobile at all. I will say not mobile. But not bad. I would potentially draft.
He's a Hoosier, so I know CG might know more about him.
And he did lead his team to the playoffs.
I'm
too.
sorry, Sooner.
I mean,
My bad.
wait, did he lead them?
Oh, no,
to the
he is in
playoffs?
Indiana. My bad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Hoosier. I mean, he led his team to the playoffs, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did. He's very experienced. John Jay, what do you think about this? Curtis Rourke.
So, for those who watch Big Ten football, Indiana isn't really like someone the school you want to talk about. I call them mid majors. They occasionally will get a bowl game when they win 6 games, but when you take a team
Nice.
to the college football playoffs, that says a lot about this quarterback. Now, again, all these quarterbacks are all projects. We don't know what they're going to be. I would not draft him, but again, just like Gabriel, there are a lot of these quarterbacks who are day 3 guys who teams are going to draft, and watch them develop. And you never know. Maybe one of them will be really good. We do not know.
You always have to
Brock
think that.
Purdy.
And
You always
anything
have
is
to think like
possible. Anything
Yeah.
is possible, but I will still pass on this quarterback.
You know, knowing what we know with Brock, knowing what we've seen with Tom Brady being picked 6th, I don't think that, you know, that position. No, people complained about Lamar Jackson. He went 32nd. He worked out.
Sure did. Yeah,
And I mean, when it comes to Rourke, I would actually draft the guy because of his experience. I mean, I honestly think it would take about a year and a half for him to get going in the NFL, though. And honorable mention to Brady Cook. He's
Honorable mention
a few
for
people's sleeper.
100%.
So
Remember, so
Well,
people he was hurt
Kenny,
last year. He had a hurt wrist, which is a huge
Kenny,
friggin' problem
do
for
you
a
know,
quarterback.
Kenny, do you know what he ran?
What he ran, I could tell you. So McLeiner could look it up too, but I could tell you right now because I have it right here.
I know you. Yeah.
His 40 was very nice. It was a 4.74, which is very good, very good, high, above average. Let's say not great
for a quarterback.
Yeah, for a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
he's tall. He's got speed. The problem is that
yeah.
he's great in the pocket. The problem is improvising, not his strength. And
I think he's also another guy that needs to develop probably behind a scrambling quarterback.
I mean, if he sat behind Jared Goff, I think that's someone that would work.
Yeah. You know what? That's actually not a bad
perfect. I think
what he could be one day, like another Jared Goff.
Yeah, and listen, just a little wishful thinking. Hopefully, the Rams take Jackson Dart. That's my wish.
Thought about that. That might happen.
Yeah, it could totally happen. I also heard Seattle. I don't know, man.
So I'm just we're gonna move on for a minute here because I wanted to mess with the actual random selections here.
Ooh,
right?
Look what happened.
So this is turned down to 1.
This makes sense.
This is turned down to 1.
Holy shit! This is to 1. This is the most accurate draft in my opinion ever. Then, look at that. That's very believable.
Kelvin Banks to the Patriots, Mason Graham to the Jags. That just happens every time.
Ooh.
Shador Sanders to the Raiders.
Campbell to the shit.
Jackson Dart to the Jets at 7.
Hey.
And then we have Armand Membo fall to us, which that would be a miracle in my opinion.
Real quick,
Ashton Genty to the Cowboys. Oh man.
Do the Jets have someone behind? Who's behind Justin Fields? Is it Tyrod Taylor still? I think it is.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, you could use a quarterback, but
this is turned down to all the way to 1.
Offensive line.
I think they might have a younger guy too, Kenny, behind Justin.
Okay.
I'm not sure though.
They have us taking a running back in the 3rd round. Oh, come on, dude.
Start Tyrod Taylor, to be honest with you.
Savion Williams, the wide receiver.
Tyrod is definitely not bad.
I would have started him. I would have spent my money and my draft picks other places. He's been there forever. Tell me he can't run.
They have us drafting Tyler Shaw in the 5th.
I could see it. I could see. I mean,
wow. All right, let's see what Spongy's here. Let's see what
I have no problem with Membo and Amos. I mean, that would be fantastic.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wow. Shit, we have to turn it to 1 all the time, David.
Wait, hold on. Hold, pause. Hold the phone. We drafted a kicker?
Ben Saul's in round 5.
He's from Pitt, dummy. What do you think?
And a punter.
Oh,
he's from Pitt.
Heavens.
You know that's
we drafted
possible.
a punter too.
Okay.
You think Howie Roseman is going to pull a Kyle Shanahan?
David, never put it on 1 again.
I love it. It makes so much sense.
That was on 1 though, so this is going to be on
let's
2.
Be fair. You're drafting for depth, bro. You guys are stacked. You know that. It's possible.
We're not drafting a kicker and a punter.
We always thought that too, and it happened to us.
We just extended our punter.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You think about the future and how much this guy's going to cost you. Think about it.
Oh my goodness. All right, so this is on random selections number 2. This is on level 2.
Oh boy.
Josh Simmons, which I don't think. I mean, the Niners did meet with him, but with his injury history, I'm kind of doubting it.
At the 11, I don't like it. That's all.
Ooh, look! I like the safety. I like the safety in the second round.
With his injury history, I could definitely see you guys drafting him. I know you guys like to draft injured players a lot.
Emory Jones,
Darius Alexander, huh?
Dy Alexander,
I like
and Korey are not bad picks.
I mean, I see 3 players.
We took the
here.
kicker this time.
Oh, Ben Sauls?
Yeah, we took the kicker.
What don't we know about Ben Sauls? We're gonna have to do like a
And
show.
Donovan Smith, the Houston quarterback.
Yeah, Josh Simmons. I'm not a fan of that either.
I see a Ute.
I could see
That's
Josh
right.
Simmons falling all the way to the Chiefs. I could see that.
David, what do you know about that guy?
He's an excellent run blocker. He actually runs good routes, but the quarterback couldn't get him the ball. So
Okay,
talking about Brashard Smith because a lot of people
wait.
we're talking about Brand Coos.
And the quarterback is Zach Wilson's brother, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, Josh Simmons is not for me. That's for sure.
But yeah. So that's ours. Let's look at Spongies. Let's see what they did. They still got you taking Jalen Walker. Harold Fanning Jr. Oh man, this ain't a bad draft. Savion Jones, Damian Martinez, Seth McLaughlin.
Okay, I like the last 2 picks. I don't like Damian Martinez. I don't like Seth McLaughlin.
Chase London, Tyler Ingram Dawkins from Georgia. So 2 Georgia Bulldogs. I just figured we better have us some fun here.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So now we're going to turn it up to 3.
And then we're going to the running back position?
Running backs? We could do that.
Because I know you guys love drafting 3rd-round running backs.
Yeah. Wow, Shamar Stewart to the Browns. That's such a Browns thing.
And Will Johnson to the Jaguars.
Shador Sanders right there, the first quarterback to come off the board to the Raiders. Josh Connerly to the Jets. That's
Landon Jackson to the Panthers.
That's really early.
Oh my God, Cam Williams.
Ursay, that's really early for Ursay.
Yeah, he's like a 43rd pick, more likely.
Jackson Dart to the
Dolphins.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Simmons probably would have been top 3 linemen in this draft had he not had the injury for sure.
Hey, Sanders and Cam.
Mike Green to Tampa Bay. I think that's where I sent him, or to the Bengals.
To the Cardinals.
Kelvin Banks fell all the way to Green Bay.
Doesn't make sense to me. I don't think they need that.
Look, there's Jalen Walker again.
Desiraku to the Lions? That would be insane.
Ashton Genty falls all the way to the second round.
Ezeraku, I think Ezeraku is an Eagle. I'm gonna be.
That would be insane. He's like my 2nd or 3rd defensive end in this.
He's like Kenny, because we did a visit with him, but he's a local kid, so his visit doesn't count to the top 30. Like,
where's Membo? Where's Membo? Where's Will Campbell?
Because he's from Cinnaminson.
There's Membo.
I think he's from either Willingsboro or Cinnaminson, Kenny.
Oh wow, that's cool. Wait, you said this is number 3 random? I don't like this one. I think 1 was the best so far for me.
I didn't like 1 either.
Well, let's look. Let's look.
You didn't. I didn't like
Ursay with the 11th overall, which I don't think that's going to happen.
I just think
Ravel Jr. in the 2nd round. Xavier Watts, the safety in the 3rd.
That's also a steal.
Watts in the 3rd.
Retro Pro. Huh.
Holland Pierce, nice.
Miles Frazier, that's not a bad pick.
Holland Pierce, your guys' draft. I love Danny Stuffman as well.
Everybody loves Hunter.
I don't like.
I mean, your guys' draft after the first pick, which might not have been the best.
What's up, Daniel Burry?
I mean, your draft after Ursay was amazing. Like,
I think
looking at it.
what I've discovered, what I've come up, it's nothing, I didn't come up with it, but I feel like we need to trade back. 100% we need to trade back.
What we're gonna do as the Eagles.
here's these guys. Of course, there's Jalen Walker for the third time in a row. Jared Ivey from Ole Miss.
Yo, is Cam Scatterbo? Yeah, okay.
Jake Majors, Cam Scattaboo.
Oh, and David, I highly you saw how you guys drafted Siobhan Revelle with your second round pick.
Yes.
I genuinely look into that guy's story. I think that is honestly a guy you would want on, and like anybody would want on their team.
Spongy, in the draft on Thursday, I took Siobhan Revelle in the first round to the Vikings. That's ballsy.
Possible.
So
it's very, very possible.
Oh my God. So this is random all the way up to 4. Mikael Williams, Jackson Dart, Nick Skyerton, Josh Simmons, Will Johnson. So random has Will Johnson just going to the Jags, or non-random has Mason Graham. Quinn Ewers to the Raiders. Kevin Banks to the Jets. Abdul Carter falls to the Panthers. Travis Hunter. We take Cam Ward.
So
yeah.
What's up, Levi? He's backstage, and there's a code. There's a code.
God. Yeah.
It's a code.
New to streaming or looking to level up, check out StreamYard and get $10 discount. Woo!
Look at your boy, David
Share
McNana.
your referral link.
People hit StreamYard by signing up for StreamYard.
This is madness.
Dude, that is Cam Ward deal. We'll just assume that's a trade.
Cam Ward. All right, let's look at this. Offensive tackle. Now, I don't know about that guy. That guy gives me Mike McGlinchey vibes. But the Arizona guy, I like him. He's a beast.
No, David. Is it because does Trapio remind you of McGlinchey because he is a tall white guy?
Oh,
that probably has a lot to do with it. Oh, we took a punter.
Dude, they're a tall white. Yeah. Can't even play basketball, so it is a thought. Give me 4 inches, I would have been
Adele Diggs. Teddy Buchanan. I've drafted him, I think.
Teddy.
Or someone did. Luke Kandra in the 5th round.
Tanker.
I mean, this ain't terrible.
Mullings is not awful.
This ain't terrible, but we did not take any interior defensive lineman, and that's kind of something big.
But remember, they're considering, for some reason, Jonas Saviani or whatever, he's now a guard, they're saying. So.
Yeah, no, he's been.
Ooh, you got Mike Greenfall, dear Sponge.
Yeah, Mike Green, total Eagle, 100% an Eagle.
Jack Beck.
Eagle, if I ever saw one.
A punter, serious. Is that a punter in the 4th round?
5th round.
I agree with you, Lo. He's my number 1, but I mean behind Hunter, but he's my guy.
Ooh, you end up with the psychopath, Bringenstool.
You got 2 of them, Spongy.
Wow.
By the way, I heard Ross Dwelly is available for anyone to pick up, or he could retire.
I bet he is.
So he's available. Niners, pick him back up. He needs a.
Yeah, we need a 4th tight end that isn't going to see any time on the field.
But he has the best hands on the team.
I bet.
Exactly. Maybe he'll go to the Eagles because supposedly we're going to trade Dallas Goedert to the Giants. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, here you guys really want a tight end?
Mark Andrews going to get moved in the draft, similar to how Hollywood Brown got moved.
I don't want to hear.
Let's look at the difference here.
Eagles. Levi, he is not going to the Eagles. That is all I care about.
Really? You wouldn't take him for a 4th? I think that's what they're going to get for him.
No, because we are getting rid of Dallas Goedert for the same reasons you are getting rid of Mark Andrews.
Ooh, why? Because he missed a touchdown that could have taken them to the next...
because they're both getting older and they're against the salary cap.
Listen, only Mark.
Yeah, I'd still take Andrews over Goddard, though.
Mark Andrews dropping that pass is enough for me to cut his ass.
It's not
You
even
realize-
just the drop, dude. It's the fumble before that. It's the 3 times he's dropped that exact same
Levi.
play. Like,
And he didn't even get
Levi.
going for like 7 or 8 games, right?
And I've been, if you've
Levi,
ever
I mean-
watched, hold on one sec, Sponge. If you've ever watched my live streams, I have sometimes been very critical of Mark Andrews for when the ball went to like someone else, he wouldn't really throw that block, or he would whiff, or
He's
a
a
couple times
quitter.
I caught him with his hands on his hips, just standing there
quitter.
watching the play go off.
I call those guys quitters now.
Yeah, it definitely rubbed me super wrong during the season.
I don't like the quitters.
It's why at the end of the season, when all that shit went down, I was like, yeah, trade him. I'm ready. There's no fucking question. Trade him. Like,
Yo, I love how Judkins flew up that
Sponge?
fucking draft board like that, baby.
I
That's
realize, like, I know we've not really experienced it with any other tight end, but
Are we going to talk about the running backs, or we're not going to do that?
whenever Goddard,
Well, that's why we're here. And I just looked. I was just looking to see, comparatively wise, the top 10 is the top 10. It's just a different order.
Yeah, you're right.
whenever Goddard is
So-
on the field, he is our best offensive player, in my opinion.
really?
Our
I'm
best
definitely
offensive
watching the
weapon.
running. There
What,
you
He
go.
Saquon?
tra-
Say something.
Okay.
Yeah, like I
I'm
just
messing
said,
with you.
so
Other
a
than
lot-
Saquon, I
lot-
get
That's my
you.
new word for a lot of.
a lot of this is when Saquon wasn't with us, but
Yeah.
when in previous years and this year, when he was off the field, we somewhat struggled. So
Yeah, you
I don't
did.
know.
The
I
effectiveness
don't
of the
know how
offense.
I
strong.
feel about trading him, but I also know he's probably not going to take a pay cut because he can go, he can
Just
go
go
get
do
paid.
what Green Bay did. Go draft you like 2 tight ends.
Wait, see, here's the thing. We could convert Johnny Wilson to a tight end.
But you told me last year he didn't want to do it.
You didn't
And
even
when
throw.
I recommended it. from
Last
the
year, you didn't
start.
even use them. You didn't even use a tight end last year.
Well, you know,
They want to.
we have Grant Calcaterra, who I don't mind. I even picked him up in fantasy, but they're not going to start him. So
I mean, maybe I was one of the only people, but I like Calcaterra. I don't even think you need.
I like Calcaterra, but he's not a starter.
No, he's not a starter.
I think it's just too good of a tight end class to pass up on.
But listen,
like I said, I think that's why the
Isaiah
Ravens are
Likely
having a
wasn't a
hard
starter,
time moving
right?
Andrews. They're not going to move Andrews probably until some tight ends go off the board, to be honest.
I
But
wouldn't be mad at most of the tight ends.
The
If we
Ravens-
get to-
go ahead.
If we get to the top 10 tight ends tonight, I mean, you'll see, but, you know.
I don't know if we're going to get there because it seems to take a while to actually do this.
The Ravens
But-
GM had a press conference and he
What
talked
if
about the
maybe
possibility.
what if
And he-
maybe now we just say yes or no, or draft or not draft, and then just continue?
The only time the Ravens have ever traded a player during the draft was that Marquise Brown trade, and it was where we moved up to go get Tyler Linderbaum. We used it to get ammo, then to move up. So I'm excited.
All right. Well, I have a question for Levi. Did you have to take the torch out to heat it up to get that thing off?
No, but that 7-ton puller fucking did the job. It sounds like a gunshot going off when that thing's separated, but it did the job. Sadly, I got to get up at. You know what's shitty? Kia. Fuck Kia. Fuck how they build those cars. I love my Kia, but fuck Kia how they build those cars. And
Trying to think if I ever had one.
David, if you use like a fucking, what are they fucking called? The wrenches.
I had a Scion, not
a flare nut wrench for your brake lines and shit. Usually it's like a 12, 13. Like, I've never in my life seen a fucking 11 millimeter fucking brake line.
Spongy is the Noid. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Avoid the
I don't have
Noid.
an 11. I have a 10. I have a 12. I have almost every fucking size. I do not have an 11-inch fucking flare nut.
Dude,
And
during the
add that to the
49ers
list.
Super Bowl, there were so many
Yeah.
Noid commercials. You remember that?
So, Kenny, Hyundai and Kia are kind of the same thing.
They are. Like Nissan.
Like mechanically,
Acura.
the Kias are kind of the
Toyota and
luxury
Lexus.
version of the Hyundai.
My Kia is the amount of recalls. Like, I have a recall right now that says, please don't park it in a garage because it might light on fire. I've already had to have like a low pressure fuel line replaced because it corroded and could leak and start fires.
Yeah.
The engine actually completely blew up. Apparently, it came off the line with like metal shavings in the engine.
Whoa.
And it,
Oh, you have the turbo.
There you go.
No, I don't even have the turbo one, and it shredded all my fucking rods. Like, thankfully, that one got covered under warranty, so that's why I still have the car because technically I have a lifetime warranty on the engine. So I told the girlfriend we gonna drive that thing till it dies.
Yeah. I have a limited edition Hyundai, by the way, and it's all blacked out. Trust me, it's dope.
It is. I kind of used to like the Hyundais. The inside were like very plastic, but they looked nice. Like it just had a nice feel. Like I used to love the Hyundai Tucson back in the day.
Okay.
Now,
So Levi, what we're doing draft or pass.
okay.
And we did QBs, but we all went through and did our analysis, and it took a long time. And I had to change it up, so we went through and we did the random drafts.
Yeah, I saw y'all
messing with
escalating
the
from
random.
like 3 to 5.
But yeah, we were messing with the random, like, and Kenny said the first one's probably pretty accurate on what's going to happen.
I thought so.
We should have screenshotted that, Kenny. Just
I'll tell you what. If Tennessee can stomach not taking Cam Ward, I think it went the way it should have gone, which is Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, or Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Cam Ward. That's just how could you take Cam Ward just because you need a quarterback? I don't agree with that shit.
Yeah, I think Tennessee takes the quarterback just because also they canceled Shador's workout. They're all in. They showed
nothing is more certain than that. It seems they canceled all the other fucking interviews.
Yeah, after that, New York is preparing to move back into the first round. They like basically passed on Shador, then freaked out last minute, scheduled one where they flew to Colorado to do the private workout with him. Last minute, it was super weird. And then, of course, the news broke not long after that they were bringing Milroe in for a workout. So I think Cleveland, New York, a lot of these teams are thinking they're going to have an opportunity to come back into the first round. And
I think if whoever takes Travis Hunter should make the move to come up and take Sanders.
Yeah.
It's not a stupid move at all. Those guys have the chemistry already. You've seen it.
It does help having that chemistry already.
It really does.
I think, I'm going to be honest, I think Hunter has to go to the right offense to find success.
And guys, they both
especially a wide receiver.
Where else is he going to be able to play both positions? I feel like Cleveland is the perfect place that would let him play both positions.
Sorry, Sponge, I'll get to you. I feel like his comment was taken out of context, but I really didn't like that comment. About,
you can't force.
If I can't play both, I'd rather quit. I think it was taken out of context. I'm not 100%, but
he's not going to give up on all that money because he doesn't get to play.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. Like if he was joking about it, cool, fine, it's a joke.
Remember,
he's like serious,
right?
He can still play both, but like after one major injury, you got to choose.
Listen, Bo Jackson didn't do it for long. Didn't do it too long. He didn't play both sports for very long because it's super fucking hard.
Bo is just way more like solid muscle.
That guy was.
Hunter's 180.
I mean,
he made Apollo Creed look fat.
Both Shador and Travis have chemistry of getting their jersey numbers retired in college.
Oh, dude, I think that's such bullshit, Sponge. The fact that they're retiring his fucking number there. Like,
poor Shiloh Sanders.
Like someone said, I can kind of understand fucking Travis Hunter. He won the Heisman.
He's been there for 9 years.
But the fact that Shador is having his number retired, yet the old Colorado quarterback who got them their last bowl wins didn't have his number retired.
Yeah, but they didn't have the swag, Levi. They didn't have the swag.
Or the nepotism.
Levi,
right.
Soon they're going to retire. Soon they're going to retire.
But did they surf when they swagged? Oh, wait, was it swag when they surfed?
They got a swag bag.
Just watch me surf and swag.
So I heard Shador's not going to the first night of the draft. What does that mean?
I heard they were hypnotic, exotic.
Levi, what are your thoughts on we know we had a draft prospect pass.
Dangerous.
We had a draft prospect pass a couple of days ago.
Oh man,
I didn't even take Shador in the first round of my draft. So
I really don't like how the media plays it. Like they keep saying he passed away. He passed away. He didn't pass away.
He
Like,
killed himself.
not only did he kill himself, he was in a high speed run from police officers actively at that moment, and
what's wrong with these kids, man?
took his
Yeah.
own life. It was a complete, and like there's so many. Don't get me wrong. It's tragic. It's sad. I truly never want to see that happen. I've lost friends to suicide, but when you're doing so to just truly avoid the consequences of your own actions,
You ain't losing the cops, bro.
it's.
That was
I'm telling you this,
that
man. I've
was
done a
the
lot of
second
things in
time.
life, and I've always sat there ready to accept the consequences of my actions. It's
Well, what's sad,
honor. It's being a man. It's
we just lost Kyrie Jackson, and it wasn't his fault. And that's, then you have this guy doing shit like that. Stupid.
yeah,
This
and
was
he
the
was
second-
speeding under the influence, swerving into the other lane when he killed that the veteran.
You can kill someone else. You want to hurt yourself and screw up your car. That's
And
one thing.
basically,
Kill another person.
his time came to face the judge, and they, And what's crazy is
All right.
supposedly his lawyer said that he thought they were going to get away with really no charges because I'm gonna be honest,
Really,
knowing how the law system works, yeah, I could have seen how that happened based on the lack of physical evidence. He wasn't on scene.
Depends on the judge.
And judge and
reason-
the prosecute. It shows a lot of things. If the prosecution's bad and fucks up like one thing, the case gets thrown out and it's over. That's
And
why I didn't go to
jury
law
of your peers is very loose definition.
I have friends that have
From what
graduated
I
law
heard.
school. It's not about how well your argument is; it's how well you can follow the decorum of court.
Yeah.
All the little rules,
the
basically.
reason,
Sorry, go ahead, Sponge.
from what I heard, the reason he was fleeing was because some girl had called the cops on him earlier
Yeah,
that night.
he pulled a
for-
gun
for
out,
sh-
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, he pulled a gun out, shooted it at the ground,
Yep.
and
That's so
nearly hit that
stupid.
girl in the foot.
Yep.
And that's
He
the
was
reason
already
he was
freaking out
fleeing.
about having to go
And
to
yeah.
jail.
You can
Yeah,
tell
he-
the
yeah.
person's not ready to be in
And
a
that's why I can't stand there. Like, he passed away. This is so tragic. He passed. This is a guy who unloaded a firearm, like killed a man, and is just clearly not ready to accept accountability.
Yes, your friends can be upset that you're gone.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But
And family
eh,
and like.
family, friends, of course, Jaden Daniels, as we all know,
And like I said, just even any loss of life that can be prevented is tragic.
It's precious.
I know.
Go ahead, John Jay. You've been gone for a while.
So I've been listening to your conversation. I've been muted because I've been eating something, and I don't know too much of this draft prospect. I read the stories. It was on, even in my local news. Like, Kenny, you said something interesting earlier. Like, once you get drafted or like once you get money, you have to leave.
Leave your neighborhood 100%.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of things, which is like probably
Which is
not
super
good.
sad, but you do have to. Sorry.
Unfortunately, this is not the show like Corey Davis. This is a football channel, but there's reasons why I have friends who are from the projects and they go to college and they are like looked like down at as pariahs for whatever the reason. And sometimes like that behavior, sometimes you can't take away that behavior. And I say this joke,
Josh Gordon.
this joke all the time. Sometimes you can take a person out of the environment, but you cannot take that environment out of that person. And unfortunately, he did something so stupid. And again,
It's like we all done stupid things.
It's hard for me. Like I don't want to be like, oh yeah, he did. I'm not that type of person.
Yeah.
Like I know everyone was talking crap about Dwayne Haskins because he didn't take his job seriously in Washington, and then he made one boneheaded mistake on a freeway, got out of a car, and we all know what happened.
That was down here. That was actually literally like 20 minutes away from where I'm at now in Florida. Like, he was training right up the road from here.
And so, as a person who's like in his 30s, and you hear like a guy in his early 20s, like.
And there was a potential that Dwayne was like roofied apparently, like and stuff. Like his family was fighting hard for that. Like, yeah, there was that they like roofied and like because like his watch was missing and shit like that as well. So there was a story that he might have been roofied at a bar by a girl, and then they kind of robbed him, and that's how he really ended up in that situation.
I'm sure it wasn't her idea.
Yeah, it was actually a conspiracy. They wanted to charge like a few people
Listen,
involved.
it all depends where you grow up, right? And so I grew up in a place that wasn't that great. I grew up in the projects as well. I lived on the 8th floor. I was one of the only white kids in my neighborhood. I had a lot of friends that I loved and loved me. But once I had to go to another school. I got a scholarship to go to a high school to play sports. And I knew I had to ditch my friends
Okay.
immediately because they would have dragged my ass down and try to hang around me all the time. And fucking, I couldn't have that shit.
I regret some of the time I spent with people and the energy that I gave them because you hear it a lot. You are who you surround yourself with, and you get the most important thing is finding people that not only match your energy but challenge. I have a saying, like, not my saying, but I truly agree. There's a saying: "Bros don't let bros cheat." And the reason their logic behind it is I respect you as like my brother, as a friend, as a man, and the person I want you to be is not that immoral, is not a liar. There's a famous saying: if you go play golf with someone, if they cheat on their golf cart, don't do business with them. It's simple as that.
It is right, because you have the only person who can tell you that you're cheating in golf is you. That's a character thing.
And that's what I'm saying. It's integrity. Driving's my favorite thing. Driving is the ultimate litmus test. Very rarely will it ever be enforced. Every law and rule that you're supposed to do. Like case in point, using a turn signal. Don't
even get me started. I live in California. There are no stop signs here. There are no turn signals. Nobody gives a shit about rules here.
Dude,
they follow.
Florida's on par with y'all. I'll put money on it.
Yeah, I'm sure Florida's the same. Half my family lives there. So
I watched the trailer. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John.
I would push back a little bit on Kenny. There are rules, but the majority of people in California don't follow the rules.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, 100%.
And I feel like it's the same problem that we have here. It's a lot of people that are just like super entitled. Like they are incredibly entitled and like just it's deep down it's narcissism. But going back to y'all's point about, sometimes you got to like get away from those people. The reason why I was saying, it's sad that you got to get, you can't go back to the hood once you make it out. Like that's the dream is to like make it out of the hood and be able to help your brother and sisters back there.
They were my own cousins, Levi. I had to disappear from my own cousins. These are the people
almost
on
every 13 famous rapper that has been shot was killed in their fucking hometown.
By your own friends. People who know you break into your house and rob.
Jump game is real, and everybody looking to snatch your chain and make a name.
Yeah, because people get jealous, bro.
Yep, it's
okay. I can confirm Kenny grew up in Camden.
No, I lived in Camden for a while, but I didn't grow up.
So I want to read Terradone's comment. It's some scandalous chick out there. See the movie Hustlers.
Oh shit! I didn't move my chat all the way down. My bad.
Sorry, David. We went off like on a long tangent.
I haven't seen.
I'm glad you said something, Sponge. I've been like twisted about like again how the media has been covering that all and like.
They have yet to cover it right. They didn't give a right report of
exactly.
First,
drives me nuts.
Okay, they said he took his life, but they did not say there was.
He was on the run.
They were saying he was on the run. It was in his house. It was
the gunshot before. And I would understand. They could say all that and be like, we talked to a behavior analyst or a psychologist. And, he was probably truly struggling with a mental health breakdown and really could have used, counseling or something prior. You can make that mental health argument. I'm all for that because that's obviously what happened. He had a mental health crisis. Maybe if he'd have had someone better to talk to in his life, he wouldn't have done that. Like, it's just like I said, it could have all been avoided is the heartbreaking part.
So I saw the amount of people who posted text messages with him and said that they would have been there for him if he needed them.
Half them people time. Just getting a fucking view.
I know, and half of those people were football players. And I said, if you wanted to help him, you can see he needed it, even if he didn't look or sound upset about or depressed about whatever happened. This thing happened, which was pretty much a DUI murder, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
He still did that, so his brain is not right currently in this time.
Your mistakes don't make you, but how you atone for them does.
Exactly.
He chose to
no matter if he is okay or not, these
case in
people
point,
still
Ray Lewis.
These people still have to check on him. I would
He
say
may or may not have been involved in that murder, whether he did it or was there and an accomplice. But
right.
the Baltimore police talk about it, like after everything, and that's when he really started giving speeches. He used to go work out and pay for a bunch of the Baltimore police stuff, like, and who knows what it was, but
The Baltimore Police Department is the
surprised
biggest
me
gang in Baltimore.
it's about
I would
you're
say
not on
that
planet
even
Earth, not Baltimore
if,
PD.
if those people genuinely,
We've seen it on camera. It's not like
if those people genuinely cared, they should have been which they might have been.
if you know your boy's about to get locked up potentially or got a court date, like I'm telling you right now, like real hood shit, somebody coming to talk to him and like make sure he okay, and like it depends on what kind of like connections we talking about. They making sure he got a lawyer and like
they gotta come to him in a different environment that's not football. Okay, the combine, not the combine, not.
Yo,
not
look who's
pro
who's
day.
at the top of those pictures, David.
But-
Who's up there on those pictures? Austin Genty, Kelvin Banks. Who else is
Well,
up?
you know, if you're his friend,
like
if you're
everybody
his
out
friend,
of my life, like
if you're his friend, I feel, especially in a time like this, he's about to get drafted into the NFL. He actually lost himself a lot of money with that situation. He could have been a day two, at least a day two pick in the NFL draft if that situation didn't happen. And he lost a ton of money. And then he's been a bit underwhelming as well. He has the court date set up. You got to check on him every day and text him every day. In my opinion, every morning when you wake up, text him, "Are you okay?"
You good, my G?
That's how they would say it.
We got a Chiefs fan in the building.
Uh-oh.
Like I hate to be this person. If you're going to jail, you've been having mental health problems.
That's a good question.
I feel like a family member should have stepped in. Why did he even have the firearm?
Oh, you kind of have
Like,
to.
I'm gonna keep it real. Like,
Sometimes
not at that point in life. Like, where was he at?
It's
Texas?
Louisiana.
Oh yeah. I mean, actually, Shreveport is fucking terrifying. Like, there's areas.
He might have been in Texas. He might have been in Texas when it happened.
Either way,
I don't really think anyone needs to carry a gun, but there are people who do absolutely need to carry a gun, bro.
yeah, it's
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie.
Being one of them.
I am very well trained at a lot of different firearms. I was set Claymore mines when I was 15 because I was driving my seniors to drill.
Are you half Middle Eastern? What's going on?
I am a warrior in a garden and a gardener in a war. I'm very well trained. I think I told David, I had a guy passed away, gave us like 1,000 rounds of competition ammo. Like I've shot a lot and I've outshot my army buddies. But I've honestly never carried in any state I lived. Florida makes me want to carry.
Listen, the reason I said that is because this kid came from Kuwait when we were really little, and his name was Muhammad, and he was one of our friends. He was a really cool dude. He was really good at basketball. Never played before. It was really awesome. But my dude already knew about making bombs, fucking with mines, disarming mines. The kid was 11 years old.
I can't tell
11
you
years
that.
old.
Because I'm a former federal ground security coordinator, and part of that is emergency response to stuff like that in the airlines. And they had to show us like a little bit of how that stuff's made and why you don't do certain things, and it's terrifying. It's like when you find out certain shit through the military or like different things, you realize how fragile everything is in the fucking world.
So we got a Chiefs fan in here.
Sorry.
Well, welcome to the show. I apappreciate you watching.
It's a good question.
40 to
Oh yeah, I gotta get myself back on the camera. What am I doing?
Get on track, damn it.
I've almost
22.
double
I
a
just
crown.
want to
Yeah.
I
That's what
just
he
want to point out real quick. 40
He filled in
to
nicely.
22. 40 to 22. Just want to point that out real quick.
Ouch, Spongy, come on.
Oh, Spongy, come on.
Be a
But
nice
Connor Lee Jr.
But so here we are though. They're asking about Jalen Moore. Now, he was with us for quite some time. He took some time to develop, but he played really good football last year.
Yeah, he filled in nicely.
He did.
Trent missed 7 games.
And he doesn't have a lot of wear and tear. John Jay, what do you think of Jalen Moore, buddy?
I have my feelings towards him. He might be a good offensive line for the Chiefs, but when he was with us, he didn't really like.
To be fair, we're not great with O-line, bro.
I'm not saying he's bad,
from
but
one bad team to another.
I'm not saying he's bad, but was he good for the 49ers? No.
No.
He's going from one bad team in the Niners to
He had
another
like
bad
5
team
or
in the
6 good
Chiefs.
games last year, I would say. But he's on the move. He's going up. He's getting better. And I'm
Hunter?
sure your offensive line coach is probably a lot better than ours. I'd probably say that.
So Miles Frazier, I actually like that pick.
I do like that guy.
Josh Connerly at 11, though.
That's wild. You don't know what these guys know, though, you know?
Malachi Moore from Alabama. That's not bad. Trevor Etienne. I actually like that.
Like
Riley
that.
Leonard.
Yeah, man. He's a possibility for us. I've heard it.
Apologies.
Like, there's Chris Paul Jr., no relation.
I
But
like ATN, though.
I mean, one defensive lineman. We need to restock a defensive lineman. Come on, draft.
I mean, I would say Aaron Banks was worse. That's a crazy
And
77
Aaron Banks
million.
signed a $77 million contract with the Green Bay Packers.
That's wild.
That's a sneaky draft right there.
So here's who you took, Sponge. You took
This is a nice
Nick
draft.
Scourton, Jahad Campbell. This ain't bad. Billy Bowman Jr. I like that guy. Dang it!
Oh, okay.
Jahad Campbell is who I thought would go to.
Look, you got a place kicker in the 5th.
Wait, who was it? I'm not looking.
Or Gales, man, the best one in the draft.
I drafted
I'm fine
Jahad
with
Campbell to the Rams. They don't even really.
Okay, I just want to point out Jahad Campbell is actually
And
in
that
a very close town, so he also doesn't count as a top 30 visit.
that
But,
corner
um,
you got
random
too,
did.
by the
Let's
way, has the third longest arms at the combine as well. Hill from Nebraska.
Nice.
It's
And
a
the
quarter.
Jahad-
Levi.
But Jahad
Ooh,
Campbell.
Mike Green. Ooh.
Talking about Tommy, right? Tommy Hill.
Oh, I would be
Jackson, Jared
ecstatic
Wilson.
with that draft.
Wow, Jerry.
I'm cool with Mike Green 1. Donovan Jackson
Donovan
2 is
Jackson.
cool. Jared
He's
Wilson's
actually
cool. He's
from-
center and guard. Mills has pass rush potential from the D line. Allen's the best pass blocking halfback in this draft class. Pretty good wide receiver.
Bro,
Not
what I
quite
noticed
fast.
is that when
play
you hit
well.
that random, it makes the teams at the end draft better than the teams in the
Ooh, and then Cone and Marks in the very end. Oh, Cone's got potential to develop. I'm not 100% sold on him.
Lambert Smith, Woody Marks. Nice.
Marks might be the best receiver running
Clay
back in
Webb?
this draft class. Horsley, I'm fucking in love with. If I got Horsley in the 7th, I would be ecstatic. He's more of a run stopper, defensive tackle, but oh yeah, be ecstatic with that draft class.
That
I
was
want
a
to
great
point
draft.
out real quick what I was saying about Jahad Campbell. He's actually from Gloucester City, Kenny.
Ooh, Gloucester.
God, that's a great draft. I really think all
I
those
don't
6th round
remember
picks
what
are gonna
random
turn into
setting
gold.
I was on for that. All right, we're cranking it all the way up.
Oh shit.
I
Here
heard
we go.
you wouldn't.
All the way up, random settings. Let's see what happens.
All the way up.
Way up.
Oh, I forgot to do the Chiefs. I mean, if the Chiefs fans still watching, I forgot to do. I'd have shown them.
He
I
might
don't
have.
know if you're still
might-
watching.
No one cares about.
Hopefully that's better.
I think he left after my 40 to 22 comment.
Yeah, that's rude.
I mean, look at this.
Mm-mm.
You never
Mark
know.
Stewart. Like I said, that's such a Cleveland Browns thing.
Well, Cleveland usually takes the best player available, so that's
Mason
why
Graham, and then Will Johnson to the Jags again.
nobody ever took
Mimbo to the Jets.
a lot of
We
good
take
people.
Ashton Genty. Okay.
Oh man,
Trade Chris McCraft.
Ashton
McCaffrey.
Genty's 5'9". I don't really see it.
Cam Ward goes to Miami. to
Don't
replace-
matter.
Not
I
seeing
mean,
it.
hold on a
Seeing it
second.
here, Lloyd.
You serious? Yep.
Like Terradome said, Cleveland, they go in Cleveland.
That's exactly it.
What's with those guys?
Will
They
Campbell
took
falls
so
all the
good.
like
way to the
Terradome,
Bucks.
they hired Tashi, redid their roster, got all their bad contracts off the books, accumulated draft picks, brought in like who was it, Dorsey or whatever, the old Packers legend.
Kenny?
Built that fucking team out the draft, signed some decent free agents, and then they fucking blew it all up with Deshaun Watson after they got rid of all those guys. Like they literally got rid of Tashi not too long after the hire of the GM, and then they moved their GM, and then that second GM made the fucking Deshaun trade and blew up that team. That team used to be so talented. It was just a quarterback away from legitimate Super Bowl contenders. But Cleveland go Cleveland.
I have another.
So Ashton Genty, Emory Jones. I don't mind that pick. Maybe in the second, or maybe not in the second round, but I don't
Mason
mind
Graham's going to be a bust. Low the truth. Dang, he must not like Michigan players.
I like
dude. When it comes down to it, I've been saying I think he's a bit overrated because he had that guy next to him,
Kenneth Grant.
Then why,
40-pound monster.
Then why isn't Kenneth?
It was a combo thing going on.
Kenneth Grant is who I took to the Eagles.
I have him going to the Chargers.
Yeah, I think he'll be gone before us. But like I've been saying since like the very first mock drafts we did when I was taking him, he plays like a Raven.
I definitely don't agree that he's the second best defensive.
I would really want the Chargers to go with Colston Loveland at their pick, but
Elijah Roberts.
It makes a lot of sense with the Harbaugh connection too.
Ricky Watt,
but like
Eddie Buchanan.
I have Colston Loveland going at number 14. Like
to the Indy Colts because Warren is gone already, right?
Yeah. Because I have Warren going at 7 to the New York Jets.
I couldn't see it. I gave them defensive player, but I could see it happening.
So in the 7th round at 252, I like pretty much 1, 2, 3, like Elijah Roberts, Seth McLaughlin. He's not playing this year, but it wouldn't be a bad pickup for next year.
I've heard through the grapevine that FSU corner, Azrae Thomas, I think his name is. He has had a lot of visits with a lot of teams, and fucking teams are in love with him. Like his IQ, I expect him to be kind of like Juju Brents from Kansas a couple years ago in the 2nd round. I think he's going to be one of the most sought after guys.
Was he Kansas or Kansas State?
Might have been Kansas State.
There was the East-West Shrine Bowl weekend thing or whatever. Elijah didn't look amazing. That's all I'll say. I'm not saying he's not. He just didn't look great in the one-on-ones at the Shrine Bowl, East-West Shrine Bowl weekend, whatever.
This is the gym, in my opinion.
He's just got to go to the right system, but he's stacked.
And it depends when he goes, too. If he goes late, I like him.
He's stacked 2 really
You're talking about Azariah Thomas, right?
Yes.
No, Elijah Roberts.
Well, no, previously, yes. We were talking about Thomas.
I have Azariah going to the Patriots, I think.
In the 1st or the 2nd?
In the 2nd.
Yeah, like I said, he is going to be one of the most sought after 2nd round guys. I expect him to probably go like top.
I think
5.
people may see him. I think people may get him before he goes late, though. Terradome. I think a lot of people like Elijah Roberts.
Yeah,
I think Roberts is going to go in the 3rd. I know a lot of mock drafts have him going a little later.
He won't be in the 7th. That's for damn.
In the 3rd, we are going to see a run on pass rushers. It's 1 through 3.
This is a 5th. This is a 5th. So,
bro, you are not lying. You are not lying. 3rd round is when I start looking at D linemen.
Teams get scared. The Saints jumped to the 2nd round for a guy that I had like a 4th or 5th round grade on, and they totally whiffed it 2 years ago.
I want to go old with our first pick, cornerback with our 2nd pick, and then take as many defensive linemen and linebacker, whatever the fuck you want. But please get an offensive lineman, please, in the first 2 picks, please.
I think if the Eagles stick and pick at pick 32, we're either going Trey Amos or Donovan Ezra.
34 and a quarter.
Yeah, technically, if you look at pass rush scores, not this past year, but the year before, Roberts was the #1 pass rusher in college football, and then he followed it up with like a top 10 performance this year.
2 years in a row.
It's SMU. He's put together a lot of good years, honestly.
I love.
Or was he at before SMU? I feel like he was somewhere else. He stepped up though. Like he's just like I said, he's got to go to the right system and.
If he's gonna be a guard, then I want him 6'4" or under.
I'd agree with you on that. To be honest, who is this? Emory Jones.
This is Donovan Jackson.
Jackson can play guard and tackle.
He can absolutely.
Yep.
And I think he might have played center once.
Actually, but I mean, I ain't hating this draft. I ain't hating on it. I don't. I mean,
I don't know.
even taking this guy. I mean,
Dang. Yeah, honestly, like I said, so let's make this a
5'8", 5'8".
hypothetical. That if y'all drafted Ashton Jennings, hypothetically, you find a team willing to take McCaffrey, maybe like a second rounder potentially. You know,
Bro,
he's
5'8".
worth a first. But
You
like,
better be
Can I see who
fucking
the Eagles got real
fantastic
quick?
at 5'8". You better be fucking amazing at 5'8", bro.
I don't see the center snaps for Donovan Jackson. By the way, Sponge doesn't mean he didn't, but like we were talking about, he actually started as a guard his freshman year.
He ain't gonna block for you at all.
He played 2 years of left
not gonna
guard.
block a single person for you.
And
Remember.
then I don't know if maybe did they have an injury Sponge at left tackle last year?
Yes. In the playoffs.
So that's why he shifted from
In the
left guard
playoffs,
to left
yeah, he had
tackle
to-
and still put up a pretty damn good year.
the
3
step-
years of at least 800 plus snaps. That's impressive. Like,
David, can I see who the Eagles got again? I honestly forgot.
but he got dominated by
of course.
Penn State.
Well,
That's
we
not-
haven't. I haven't. I don't think I've gotten to them yet.
Penn State. His grade against Penn State.
Man, this guy
39.4. Abdul Carter ate him alive.
Oh, he's got short arms. I can't draft him.
That's what I look for online. I look for the matchups.
But he's
between
that guy. Even when he stands up
Who's
straight,
that?
he still disappears behind the offensive lineman. And I love running backs of that size.
Why is that? Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
If you're a sub 6 foot running back that's over 200 pounds and can run at least a 4.5, that's my
5'10" is like the smallest running back I want, guys. I'm sorry.
I'll
You're
take
not,
that.
think they
unless
want,
you're
I
Barry
think they want Jalen Walker to go to the Eagles.
I think that's what these guys are saying.
There's some 6
But
foot guys
two-
that can make it work, but it's a lot harder.
That's tough, man. 5'8", it's tough.
What it is again, I'm a 6'3". I started a wide receiver. The number one problem for me was dropping my hips and getting low to make my cuts. So when you're a running back and you're trying to make all those little tiny cuts and your jump cut, it's definitely way easier when you're smaller and you're not over.
3 interior defensive linemen. That's
Another thing
that's more
about
like the
Jeffrey-
Niners draft.
They use Genty a lot in college, bro. The boy has wear and tear on him.
Braden Swinson in the first round?
I love Braden Swinson.
Ooh.
I used to train a guy. We called him Mini To. He was like
Yeah, man.
6'5".
I'm just saying, you better be good at that size. That's all I'm saying. You better be great.
Had so much
Swinson,
potential, but he
Stewart,
rounded all his routes.
Ford, Gallis, Powell, round. That's not a
Oh,
bad
you
draft.
got the place kicker,
That's
Levi,
not
in
a
this
bad
one.
draft. Oh, is this my draft?
Yeah, for the Ravens.
Yeah,
Also,
this
the
is
Jets-
this is yours.
He has fumbles. Genty
That's not
fumbles.
Terrible. Okay.
All this shit is overlooked. You never hear about
Ooh,
them.
still end up with CJ West.
Pollard
Okay, Weiss
Ryland.
Jr. Okay.
CJ West is a problem.
Mickens has got potential. I'm not in love with him.
Jabari
CJ West is a
Muhammad also has
problem
potential.
for fucking offensive linemen, bro.
Muhammad's not
I
bad
just
either. He
wanna
looked good at the
point-
combine, I think.
I just want to point out something about the Eagles draft real quick. I think we will move up in the first because supposedly, from what I heard from a few sources, the Eagles do not have 32 first-round grades on. Well, we don't have first-round grades on 32 players.
Winston and Josiah.
I absolutely
Love it.
agree with you on that, Sponge. That's what I've been saying. The difference in those later first round picks and second round guys is so minimal that it's why I want Baltimore to trade out of the first round. I highly doubt
dang
there's
it.
going to be a first round guy there left.
This is
I
something
agree.
straight
They
coming
either
out
go
of
up
the
or
mouth.
down.
Like, this is something straight coming out of the mouth from, I believe, Howie Roseman.
Like molasses coming out of your mouth.
Who are y'all going up to get?
I think it's going to be Malachi Starks. That
Yeah, because there's been a lot of talk of him going to Baltimore, and it's either him
I
or
think-
Watts. And Starks is a better run defender
What?
than Watts
What?
is.
What?
I
Messiah,
mean,
what?
I think
So
we could
this
also,
is
like,
Baltimore.
possibly.
Balmer.
If we could also trade up for
Wait,
Ezraku.
This is Baltimore's.
Yep.
Ooh, Jackson.
Donovan Jackson can play
I went
both.
to college right on the Mason-Dixon. I know me some Maryland.
Hey, we got Ricard's replacement and JJ. Okay. I mean, I'm not hating that draft, even though there's some.
I like the
crazier picks.
Savion Jones.
You got
I
the
like
kicker
fucking
again.
Sanders.
Yeah.
Oh, look, longer beam.
You got to have a longer beam.
Yeah, Baltimore is probably going to take a safety. I mean, we might take 3 defensive backs in this draft class minimum. To be honest with
I
you,
like Levi, something I like about being a bit local to some of these schools, like
By the way, you
of
can trade
course,
up the Baltimore spot if you want.
I could do that. I mean, it's
Ooh,
possible,
you got
but I
Jack
think
Sawyer this time, Spongy.
Ooh.
at what pick in
But
the
you're
first round?
First, I
Pick
don't like him.
32.
I don't like him in the first
I
round.
mean,
I don't-
he's been climbing draft boards.
No, he's been falling draft boards actually.
I'm sure they're both. I'm sure you're both right.
Yeah, I mean, I think
First round, absolutely not. Though I will agree with you.
no, definitely not.
Second
first
round,
We-
I'd take a second on him.
Here,
Late
does
I
second,
think
those
late
guys
second.
block though?
I
Does those
think
guys
we could
block?
get. I think we could get him at 62, but
Because Genty
also
don't block.
I feel like at 62 we
Demetrius
could
Knight,
also get.
though, Jake Major.
Oh, you got the
Or
place
like
kicker. You got the other place kicker.
Genty don't block. Genty fumbles. Genty's small as hell.
They really want us
Genty's
to get
conference
that
wasn't
point.
amazing. I mean, I don't know why all this is overlooked, and this dude is like top dog here. I don't really get that shit.
I'll say this. I don't know.
He
I
can't
think
catch the ball.
how-
His route tree is garbage. That's just all. That's all facts. So I don't get the
Ooh.
Genty.
I feel like
seriously-
Give me Judkins.
Now the corner in the second round. Yes, we did that last year, but he is by far the highest draft picked defensive back the Niners have taken in the Lynch and Shanahan era. And right now, with us having Lenore and him, and then we signed Trey Brown, we signed a couple guys. I don't think they're going to be taking a corner before round 3, at least.
I don't think that guy will even be there at round 2. I think he could be an Eagle
Trey
at
Amos,
whatever
43. No way.
at whatever
No
pick.
way.
I mean, okay, but Levi, I mean, something I like about being close to some of these schools is that I'm gonna pull something else up and I'll bring it up to you at the end.
Trey Amos could go to the Packers in the first round.
That's possible.
He's got a point here, Kenny. Frank Gore is my height.
Yeah, but he's Frank Gore. How many Frank Gores do you know?
Well, one, but
I just hate short guys
The
when
the
they bench and
exception,
squat.
the
It's
exception doesn't prove the rule. I'm not going to say some stupid shit like
so
that.
much
but it's an
easier to bench and
exception.
squat when you're short.
How many Emmett
But,
Smith? How many Frank
I
Gore?
mean, two offensive
How many
tackles.
Barry Sanders?
Yeah,
Did
two
those guys
offensive
fumble,
tackles.
though? Did those guys block?
Oh, another
Did
Penn State
those guys catch
safety.
passes because Genty doesn't do those things.
Okay. Condra from
Larry
Cincinnati.
Allen. Luke
Oh,
Camden.
yeah.
I don't mind that pick. Mitch Evans.
I feel
The
like
punter.
Brandon. I feel like Brandon.
Barry Sanders was a
Not
student.
one defensive lineman.
Where did Emmett Smith go to college? Because I know Oklahoma or Oklahoma State is where Barry Sanders went, right?
Yes, not
So
one
I
defensive
just-
lineman.
I just want to point out some.
Like,
That's another thing. He's got a ton of wear and tear, bro. They used his ass in college a lot.
You know, though, so did Derrick Henry. And if he'd went to a better team. Well, actually, Tennessee wasn't too bad. They used to have a really good run line.
Listen, you guys want to
They had a
think
quarterback.
that Mike Green is Lawrence Taylor and that Genty is Barry Sanders? Go ahead. I'm going against that.
Oh, I'm not comparing them to those Hall of Famers.
Absolutely.
Mike Green, though, Mike
I'm not
has
saying
different
you're wrong.
moves. So, like, the speed to power, the best player in the speed to power move in last year's draft, I think I know you like this guy, Jared Verse, who, of
Right.
course, he
Yeah, I
was
like
the
him
clear
because
speed
Kevin
to
Banks
power
hates his
number
ass.
one guy.
Rookie.
And there was no one close. And that was the thing that a lot of scouts liked about him, because in the NFL, Chuck Smith, who's our pass rush coach, stresses that you have to start by having one dominant move. If you don't have one that's dominant, you can't work anything, because you don't really really play the chess match of pass rush. So Jared Verse was that guy. I kind of feel like Mike Green. I know the Senior Bowl thing is part of that, but I think when it comes to speed to power, and changing it, I think he's better than most of the guys in this draft class. Now, of course, he's got to work on some of those other pass rush moves, but I like him in certain systems.
Again, We can point out one guy here, one guy there. If you
I want him in
believe this
Baltimore.
guy
I think
is
he'll work
those
great
guys,
as a three.
I say
I think he'll
put
work
all your
great as a
chips in
3-4
there.
linebacker. I don't think he'll work great as a 4-3 end. I think he's got to stand up and play.
Who, this guy?
I can't trust Landon Jackson. I'm
That
so
guy
sorry.
looked like garbage in the one-on-ones, even though I like him. He looked like
And he
garbage.
looked good at the combine. So when I got my list of like my combine guys, and I either have like they're on the rise, like a full rise, or like okay, they did kind of good, but not as good as the other guys. And it killed me because I have a bias against Landon Jackson because he's an Arkansas player, and I'll be honest, I have a bias. But he did look kind of good in the combine drills, and you can definitely see the growth.
You
If
know,
you
one
think
guy.
he continue to grow, he's got so much potential. But
One
if you
guy I
think he's kinda
remember the combine like ruining this guy was Merton Hanks. Remember, and we were like, "We'll take him."
The running
After the
backs,
combine, everybody hated Merton Hanks.
the running backs looked atrocious in the drills at the combine this year. Their ability to read and make a cut was so subpar to previous classes. It was almost laughable. And they were joking about it. They're like, these guys are not the NFL guys were not taking it easy on the running backs and really making them work to make their reads. And I appreciate
Ooh.
that so much.
I like these picks.
There's only like 3 guys that made their reads
Like
well.
Landon Jackson at 75, I would prefer, but I mean, I like the guy.
Yeah.
I just want to point out some. Do any of you guys know
I mean,
some
that's
of
a
the-
pretty good draft so far.
It really
some
is.
of the guys who visited you guys like for the top 30 visits or something? Like
Who,
any
Baltimore?
players any players that you noticed or
we
that stick
just
out to
had
you?
one too. Fuck, who was it?
I have Grant rated very, very highly.
I'll see if I can find it.
And
'Cause, I
other
mean,
people don't. A lot of other people don't. They're talking Grant, end of the first, maybe, really second rounder. I still like him. He's one of my top defensive tackles in this draft.
Okay. You're talking about Kenneth Grant. I thought you were
He's
talking
free.
about Charles Grant.
No, I know, but I'm looking at Kenneth Grant. So.
Interesting. Oh, we brought in a kicker for a private workout on April 11th.
Well,
Who
Justin
was that?
looking bad.
Ryan
Huh?
Fitzgerald from Florida State.
Fitzgerald.
Anthony Belton.
I know, interesting, right?
6'6", 336.
Does anybody know if he's right or left?
Look at
Because I
that
love
span.
I like
Who are we
the guy
talking
from
about? Oh, Anthony Belton.
I don't know if he's right or left. I do know I like the guy from Rutgers. That's
Pretty sure.
huge.
We actually just recently had Wyland.
And he was one of the guys on our top 30 visit, by the way.
I really
He's
like
been
him.
mocked us in the second round, honestly. But I don't know.
34 and 3/4. He can play tackle.
He has played 3 years at left tackle, 600 minimum snaps, 12 games minimum all 3 years. He has showed growth, starting at a 64, moving to a 73 in his final year. So he's shown growth all 3 years.
We're talking Belton, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Surrendered 20 hurries last year, shortened that up to 8 this year. Gave up more sacks and more hits, though, than last year. More known as just he basically is pure pass rusher. His run grades are pretty bad. And against some of the edge rushers in this draft class, like Tennessee ate him up. Clemson ate him up. Cal ate him up. You know,
you got to
really
play,
have any
play real competition.
Yeah,
For example,
he had
Charles
no
Grant,
dominant
he's
games.
going to need to develop Charles
His
Grant.
number one game
I'm
came
gonna
against
mistake.
UNC. His second
I
game,
didn't
Georgia
mean to take him,
Wake
but
Forest.
Ooh, Logan Brown, I love it.
But he got blow out by Syracuse, California, Tennessee. So I don't like the Belton pick.
Look
Even
at
though it's
that
been mocked for
span.
second, I hate it.
I would have waited on just getting Brown and skipped out on Belton, to be honest with you. But everybody
Exactly.
loves Belton. They love
I'd rather take the shot on Brown.
accidentally drafted
Loves
Brown. I'm
Belton.
not gonna lie.
They love him
Yeah,
more than Kelvin Banks.
I'm with you on that, Kenny. I don't like Belton. I hate that he's been mocked to my Ravens.
The creators are all on the same wavelength this year. They're all pushing the same friggin' guys and bashing the same guys. They all talk
Dude.
to each other. They're all a bunch of bullshit.
And I've been watching some of the coverage lately now because it's that time of the year, and they are so
These are people
bad on
getting
NFL.
$25,000 to push gambling apps. I don't fucking trust any of them.
I watched. They did a Good Morning Football with 3 of the cornerbacks, like Logan, or was it not Ryan Clark, but Logan Ryan from the Patriots, and 2 other corners, and it was so cringe. It was so fucking cringe. cringe and hard to watch.
Well, I had David, and I called him I texted him at work. I'm like, Chris Collinsworth is on right now doing a draft. Come laugh your ass off.
I would.
What did I say? What did I say about it, Kenny?
You hate that guy.
I
know,
said that's
like,
it's boring as fuck. I actually watched it for a minute.
Yo, I was in there giving them shit the whole fucking time, being a menace like I do.
I love what they asked one of the ladies. All right, who's your person third and later? And I was like, okay, this is exactly I want to hear their opinion. First guy went. He's like Woodson from California, and I was like, fuck yeah.
No,
that's
these
a guy
guys
on
don't
my
have
list.
the
I
time to
love
get into
him.
shit.
And then the girl goes and she chooses someone that's clearly going to go in the fucking second round, and everyone just looks at her. And I'm like,
where did he go? Right there.
Yeah, bro.
The last person was just like so fucking predictable.
Lo, you're not lying. I've seen fans making better picks than the Niners for the last 3 fucking years, bro. It's embarrassing, dude.
There are very few teams though that can.
So we got a couple edges, an interior guy.
Let's see. Yeah, where'd you go next? Mello. You know what? If you're looking for a corner, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Kobe. Never mind. Ignore me.
My last pick in every draft from now on is Elijah Hoosie. Look his ass up.
Hoosie.
Look his ass.
I have been like drowning in draft data. Like
Taking
slowly.
another edge.
UNC, bro.
notes on all the
UNC
fucking-
corner also plays special teams. His numbers and his stats in college prove that he's the shit. Why he's going in the 7th round, I still have no clue. There must be something. Somebody just interviewed him.
Jackson, what are you doing here?
I've still got to
Sorry.
finish my. I'm slowly like
This
trying
is
to eliminate
this is what you call restocking the defensive line.
for
Look.
real. My God.
A little bit.
I've
You
gone
still got
buck
2 more
wild
picks,
with it.
too. Still
1,
got 2 more.
2, 3, 4, 5 defensive linemen, 3 offensive linemen. Hey, we need trenches, right?
Right.
I mean, it's not bad. I'd sub out 1 pick for a linebacker, but it all depends on how the board falls. There's always room to
Well,
make.
It's gonna be insane on draft day. We don't know shit.
I'm so excited for
We
it.
fucking so off on everything.
I am fucking ready for this shit.
you ain't lying.
You know, a lot of wild shit is gonna go down.
I'm telling you, like I said, there's gonna be some trades, like
Just-
because the pass rushers, like we were just talking
Who's this
about, after
guy?
round 3, they're gone. Tackles, we're gonna see, like case in point, let's say Will Campbell and Membo go first. Somebody's gonna move up for Banks, and I'll fucking put money on it.
You guys like the camo sneakers or what, bro?
I do actually. The Adidas. I'm an
Yeah.
Under Armour guy myself.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, they had a huge sale when Kanye fucked up, so I bought out fucking Adidas.
No sale is beneath me,
Do you
though. I will
remember
be with
that
you on
shit?
that.
You remember that
I
shit? They were
do.
trying to get rid of everything
do.
Adidas because Kanye was a mess, and I was
We're
like,
like, he's like, they can't cancel
Boom.
my contract, and like
bought,
Adidas is
12
like,
pairs
our
of
lawyers are
sneakers,
better.
Socks, underwear, shirts, hats, fuck, bought everything.
I've always loved Under Armour as a product, and then of course Under Armour's their home office is in Baltimore. They sponsor our training facilities, so it is the Under Armour Performance Center. I love fucking Under Armour. Always have.
I've worn Adidas
In this
forever.
house.
As a Run DMC, I've always worn Adidas. I never wore Nike ever. Always Adidas. Always.
Really
Adidas.
never like, and I grew up playing soccer.
I had
My
one pair of
original,
Jordans. They were bought for me though.
actually, my original favorite soccer cleats were Reeboks, and then their shit just went to garbage. They got out of like the athletic game.
I
They went
did
to
have
Navy.
Nike cleats for baseball though. I'm sorry, I do.
I went to Adidas, man. Adidas were my cleats. Like
Because they were like sharks or something and had teeth. I fucking loved them.
I ain't gonna lie though, Nike got some nice cleats now. Like
I got it
I'm
was
still
over
on
Christmas. I got the my Easton bat. It was black and gold, brand new Easton bat. I loved it, and I got Nike cleats. That was 1 year for Christmas.
who you taking with that 7th round pick, man?
Well, I got 2 picks left. That's why I just keep looking around here.
Let's see what's on the board. Corey Kiner's got good upside, but you can get him as undrafted. Same with Yarns, possibly. You know, if I was a GM and I really believed in Yarns, I would trade up I would take.
I
him with the
love
7th
Marcus
round pick.
Yarns. You guys probably know why, but I just love him. Can you see if Elijah Hoosie is still there? Can you read his profile?
Crawford and Smith have such potential.
He's a
Like-
cornerback.
Jalen's got great potential.
He can't be behind Shiloh. That would be criminal.
He's
he's
not
gone.
here.
He's gone.
Ooh, you got Siegel there. If you're looking for a slot guy that can play safety, Siegel's that guy for you as well. Like, Who else we got here?
Don't
Bert
make
from
me,
West
make
Virginia.
me take my
top guy, I
PowerPoint
think.
presentation out on Shiloh right now.
Bro, I'm gonna build a Marquez Siegel. He's an interesting prospect. High upside. He's like gonna be a hit or miss, but he's got a lot of slot usage, which is something that's attractive to me in a sense. And then it might have been his man coverage grades. I'm that type of guy. Like if we're talking about Madden, I like a hybrid safety. I like a safety that can come down and play man coverage.
I love loose
Put me in
slot.
a cover one, basically. But who else we got? What you looking for?
I'm looking at safeties. Well, I've never even heard of this guy.
I mean, he's been mentioned a little bit. He's not terrible.
He's from Delaware and went to Maryland. That's kind of cool.
Terrapin, son. Yeah. He's been mocked to us a little bit as well, but
That's a nice campus. I mean, if
Yeah.
you stay on Maryland's campus, it's nice. If you go off of it, it's not that nice.
Yeah, but the red light is on. Look at that.
Oh, the red light is fucking.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love him, but like I said, I got a lot of love for the Terrapin players, but a lot of them don't work out, and I've never been huge fans of them.
Shit,
I
most
got
players.
burned by one on my draft special. Let me see. So you're looking for a true free safety. I don't know if they might. Crawford's definitely not free safety material. He's like what y'all have been drafting.
Hey,
Yeah, we already have two of those.
A box type of safety, more
box.
so.
That's all we care about.
I'm telling you,
Yeah, we
having
already
a
have
free
two of
safety that
those.
can truly cover the field in a cover one is a difference maker in a defense.
Ooh.
Like I said, Jalen Smith's one of my favorite corners in this draft.
I hate the late they give you.
He's going to be a late round steal. Asbury's gone. I think Woodson's gone.
I wish I knew where Huzzy went.
Oh, hold on. Go down on the safety list. I want to see if there's a couple guys here. I mean, no, Burks isn't one of those guys.
There's Baby Dion.
Baby D.
Keep going. I'm looking for a couple weird guys potentially.
Baby D reminds me of a Friday 2.
Still don't see him. They might not even be on this website, to be honest.
Dante Manning. Take a
Might
chance.
not.
You never know.
Yeah. I mean, they might be gone, but there's a couple guys I'm looking for potentially in later in this draft.
Wow,
Bless
I
you.
can't pronounce that name.
What name?
Fabiculananan? What the frick? What is it? Does anybody know?
Fabula Cannon.
Cameron
I don't know.
Fabucalanen. Hell yeah.
I know, right?
Perillo.
Definitely interesting.
I wonder if he's Filipino, yeah?
He definitely kind of gives that vibe.
I think he's Filipino, bro. There's a
Why
couple
you gotta
Filipino
assume,
players,
man?
a couple Filipino players.
Get him, John Jay.
Is John Jay here? John Jay's not
He's
Filipino,
been
I don't
muted.
think.
He's probably been eaten.
What?
John-
My bad. My bad.
He's like, what? Someone said my name?
Is it what? Someone said my name.
Molokai, man.
Man, there's so many
What's up,
linebackers
cuz?
and stuff I'm starting to avoid in this
So-
draft too on missed
so-
tackle rates. Sorry, go ahead.
So, Kenny, I don't know what you said, but in the words of your only Asian friend, careful.
No, you're not Filipino, are you? You're
I think
Chinese.
Lowe's correct.
I'm something.
Pacific Islander,
Okay.
I think, is actually
I'm
correct. He's
something.
probably like Hawaiian.
I'm a lot of things. I don't know.
I went to Catholic school, so I knew a lot of Filipino kids.
Yeah.
Big Hand's great 40.
Filipino
Koofy.
parents
Reminds me of Delaney Walker.
they make good food.
Is it too hard to ask you to scroll back and see where Hoosie went, dude?
Yes. No, I'm kidding.
Or can you look him
All right,
up
this is the
just
last
like
pick in the draft.
What position are you
Who?
looking for? Uzi.
Elijah Hoosie, UNC cornerback / special teams? The guy has put up numbers in
He's
college.
I
he's
feel
gone.
like he's between fifth and
He's
sixth.
gone.
Yeah, I know he's gone. I can't believe it, bro. Here's somebody that's been going up in the draft right there.
Who's the person that says, "Now here's a guy"? Is that Chris Collinsworth?
The funny thing is he doesn't have the measurables, bro. He's not the perfect player that you want.
This
But
is
he's got
this
the
is the
numbers.
guy that they have us drafting.
Let's see. Ranked 166, 5'10", 195.
I'm surprised he's gone.
3-year starter. Moved from outside to slot to back to outside. Played a little bit of box. Might be more of a safety convert.
Oh, I thought that was him. That's Ritzy.
You got Zeke Biggers.
Yeah.
We just saw. I just saw.
He's bigger.
I'd pass on Hughes personally.
He's from Salisbury, North Carolina.
A lot of people said
The
he
bench.
looked better for slot. He played outside mostly last year. They
Yeah,
said
they
he'll
do.
probably be better moving in.
That's
back
because the
inside.
Portuguese people colonized in the Philippines. Yeah.
Spanish. Not
Was it? Are
Portuguese.
you sure? It wasn't. I don't know.
See,
It's
there you go.
Spain or Portugal.
My knock on Hoosie, he basically got worse every year.
They were
That's
fighting
certain
over
things.
colonizing.
He had
Hey,
his
we need
best
a
year his
running
freshman
back.
year, and then got worse every year after that.
In the words of the comedian Joe Coy, Mexicans and Filipinos are the same thing.
15
I love
rushing
Joe Coy.
touchdowns.
Was not a fan of his last special. I feel like he's just gotten a little too.
Yeah, it's
repetitive,
hard
but
to
I
keep-
love him, man.
Hard to keep up the comedy, man. It's hard.
He's a legend. He's a legend. Like especially over there. Not just Philippines. What is it? Malaysia.
We're all the same, though.
Four
Ish.
rushing touchdowns.
The word is ish.
Yeesh. You know, I was going to start a nonprofit a long time ago. I was going to call it the One Foundation because we all, we're all up. The idea of trying to bring everyone under one roof because we all are the same. And then I found out a Chinese corporation had already taken it.
Sleeper, baby. Sleeper.
Yarns, baby. Yeah, and he looked good at the combine.
That's my sleeper, dude. One of my sleepers. Although I don't think he's a sleeper, but, he's a
He's
sleeper.
probably going to be a steal, though, wherever he goes, potentially. He might get
Yeah,
buried
he
on
could
a
go
depth
to
chart.
Philly. He could go to Philly.
Would you take him?
Also,
Spot?
I totally
Going
like.
to University of Delaware, it's a very good possibility they look at him.
This is a very trench heavy draft right here.
He goes to
That's-
Cleveland to reunite with another Delaware
That's the kind of
product,
draft I
aka
would
Joe
do that nobody
Flacco.
would ever like.
What if they're
I
really
mean,
just going to run with Joe Flacco this year?
I would. And Pickett, I think they're good.
I mean, he didn't look bad on that team. Like, David, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
this is
like
a very big time trench heavy draft.
you're gonna find at least one pass rusher in that draft, guaranteed.
I got 3 players out of all 11 pick, 8 guys in the trenches. Yeah,
Mexicans don't like
we're gonna find
not fans.
out of 1, 2,
3 edges, 2
3.
D linemen.
I think I did take 2 interior.
Belton
took
can
3
play guard
edges.
and tackle.
3
so,
edges,
yeah.
2 interior.
Yep.
2 guards. Well, two tackle. Well, they're all tackles, but I mean, like
Both can
Charles
play
Grant,
guard and tackle.
he's got the arms, but it's kind of like he'll be in there starting at the left guard spot with Trent Williams right there for a year or 2. Anthony Belton, that guy could probably just come in and fill in for McKivitz right off the bat. But none of these guys are going to start this year because McKivitz is only under contract for 1 more year. So we need a swing tackle. So we got 3 tackles.
Swing.
I guess the only knock on
Nice.
Brown is the only.
I
really
love
had
Kenneth
one
Grant.
healthy
We could have
season.
traded back and got Kenneth Grant. That's what I would think.
He's got a lot of potential. He's got to clear his fundamentals, but that's coachable. The health, I guess, is the concern. Logan Brown
Close.
played 5 games in 2022, 1 in 2023, and then finally had a full 11 season. But he improved every year technically, which is always again something you want to see. And he's played primarily on the right.
Yeah, that was like incredibly heavy trenches there.
Can I read to you guys really quick about Elijah Hoosie?
Let's hear it.
Go
Dual
for it.
role, man press cornerback. Okay, don't worry about the measurables; they're horrible. But listen to what they say: exceptional route recognition skills, honed through 3,600 plus collegiate snaps, consistently beats receivers to their spots and jumps underneath routes with veteran savvy. Natural ball skills, shine in zone coverage, showing basketball-like timing when high pointing passes and closing rapidly on underneath throws. Elite change of direction ability allows him to mirror slot receivers effectively. Shows outstanding patience and balance through stems. Versatile defensive weapon who's equally comfortable playing outside corner, nickel, or returning punts with game-breaking potential. Advanced pre-snap communicator who consistently gets his teammates aligned correctly and anticipates offensive concepts. Exceptional production across all levels of competition with 16 career interceptions and 40 pass breakups. Shows plus competitive toughness at the catch point despite size limitations. Willing to challenge bigger receivers in contested situations, and special teams value as a proven punt returner with 2 career touchdowns adds immediate roster flexibility. This guy has been going 7th for the last 3 months, and in the last 2 weeks, he's had an interview, and now he's going in I'm guessing in the late 5th, early 6th. Maybe that's not a big deal. I think he's a perfect guy to target late.
I mean, yeah, later pick for sure.
I'm not saying he's
any corner that plays that many snaps is a great thing. And,
doubling
the short area quickness is definitely there. Like I said, playing more in a slot. Plays better in the zone than the man,
William
in
and
my
Mary
opinion,
Grant?
and a pretty good run defender. I would say the one thing I like about him is this. When you look at his passer rating when targeted, which again, he's a 3-year starter with he played minimum 720 snaps for all 3 years and played more than 800 in 2 years. He averages 50 maybe on his passer rating when targeted. And he saw 85 targets his freshman year, 63 his sophomore, 47 in his 3rd year. So people were kind of avoiding him. Now, who he played against and how he played against them this past year definitely didn't help him. If he would have came out last year, I don't know if he could have, probably would have came out a lot higher. So that's probably why he's fallen. He's got to go to the right fit and the right system. But he's ranked 166 on this board, which I mean that's late 4th, 5th. Which yeah, I'd take a shot on.
Yeah, top 200 players. I love all of you. Top 200, that's fine with me.
I know I'm having to knock off the top 70 players off my boards right now to shorten my list.
I was just gonna say it's getting late, guys, so it's about time for me to go. Well, I get up super early, go to work. So Saturday, of course, we got the last mock draft episode going on.
I'm excited.
So I'm gonna be joining. I think we're gonna have Wolfie joining us.
Saturday?
Yes, and I'll be taking the GM role. The question is, who am I going to trade? I do have someone in mind.
And
we'll just see what we get for him.
Serious, just like tomorrow.
Well, I don't know. Were you with me for the episode 3 before they cut everyone, and I traded pretty much everyone that I knew was on the outs?
I think I was there for episode. I might have missed episode 3. I missed a few along the way,
but yeah, it was crazy. I made a lot of trades during that episode. It was I'm
gonna trade Mark Andrews in our Saturday episode. Yeah. I'm gonna make it happen.
If someone makes an offer for the 11th pick, and there's the players I thought that I like are off the board, anything's possible. So, but yeah, of course. Niners Coast to Coast didn't happen this week. It'll happen next week, draft prep. I
can't wait to draft.
Join us tomorrow. Power 32 podcast. We're going to be doing a 1-round mock draft.
Dave will be there. Levi.
I meant to ask that how many rounds we were doing. If it was 1,
I think it's just 1. But if we move fast, we'll just go.
I'd say 2 or 3 would.
I think we can get 2 in if we go fast.
I know they like to keep it good, short, and sweet, which I totally.
Yeah, we just like you to be a little ready because Jason and David, they get up early, and Jason especially.
That's the only reason I was trying to figure out the order because I'm the type I'll sit here and go through their. If I know exactly who I might be picking for, I'll run through their 3-year draft history because that's the thing that I hate
get there
about
4:45.
Analysts.
Yeah, if you can get there by 4:45, you'll know the order then, and
Dude,
I feel
I can be there as soon as you want me there, homie. Legitimately.
Yeah. Hold on. When he says 4:45, he means Pacific Standard
your
time.
I mean your time.
Oh, 7:45 my time, Eastern Coastal. Dude, I do it all the time. I have been in every time zone other than Western, and it fucks with me so
You can't mix numbers and letters because I get very confused.
I'm with you, homie. I'm with you.
Letters, I'm okay. Numbers, okay. Mix
But for
them
the
together.
listeners,
I'm good with time zones because I formerly at my former jobs have had to do business with people in all of them, so I had to be
that
good
might
with
be a
time
thing,
zones.
Brandon Hallam.
You're probably right, Lo, but I would take a chance on Shiloh, man. That dude is old. He's developed. He's got a lot of turnovers in college, and I feel like you get him for his best years for 4 years real cheap. I'm down.
You know what? I'm a little concerned about Shiloh with because I was looking at it the other day because you love him, and I'm like, I got to do my diligence on him at least. And there was these weird numbers, and I'm like, I gotta go like double check. It seems like he struggled in coverage, and they 100% covered it up
Yep.
scheme wise. He was only like his coverage snaps, despite being a safety, are so insanely low. He was never covering anybody, it seems like. They used him. Now, again, if you're looking for a pure run box defender based off these initial numbers, oh yeah, all day. He plays downhill, he'll lay the fucking wood, or at least try to. And I appreciate that mentality, But again, like I was like, why are these numbers? And like the only thing I can come up with is that they were essentially like helping him out and covering it up scheme wise in a sense. But I'm not 100% sure that I don't want to like put that really on him because I haven't watched enough game tape on him to. But it was just like I'm telling you, I've never seen such weird numbers from a safety in my entire time of studying this shit. Like it weird. But yeah, for those that didn't catch that, by the way, Power 32 podcast tomorrow. What time, Kenny? Officially?
5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast.
Yes.
Got it.
And we will be doing at least a minimum first round mock draft. Niners, Ravens, and I think all the teams
We're
technically.
drafting for all the teams in a row. So Jason's
yeah.
going to put our names in a hat. He's going to pull them out. And so it might be
I
Levi
love it.
first pick, Dave second pick,
Love
Jason
it.
third pick, me
Do I
fourth.
at least get to make my Raven pick no matter what?
No.
Oh,
No, and
so
David won't get to make. David won't get to make the Giants pick, and somebody will make.
I won't get
I
to make
also
the
do
Niners
slightly
pick.
love
You
it,
might
the
make the
chaos of it.
You might
I
pick
do
the
slightly
Giants,
love
Levi. You might pick.
You're gonna
This is
test
gonna
my
be
knowledge
awesome.
of these teams in the draft process, and I slightly.
Hey, you could sit
here
at home
for it.
now and figure out all the things and see which one you want.
Oh,
That way, you'll know
sadly,
when you're picking for the
I've got to
Ravens.
get up at like 9 a.m. to go return this 7-ton part puller to O'Reilly's before I get fucking charged for it. And David, I didn't tell you this. My dumbass at 3 a.m. ordering parts. I ordered the same fucking side parts, so I have to go. I couldn't finish the brake job tonight. I have to go return parts and wait for my parts to fucking come in now. And I'm slightly.
Dude, listen,
Oh.
I know people love the Walter Nolan, and I hope he's fucking great, but I just don't see it. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well,
but I've been a Niner fan
Okay.
for so long.
Okay. So Brandon
watched for
Hallam,
10
first things
years to
first.
watch that guy.
Thanks for pulling up. I appreciate you. And you never know what's going to happen on draft day. There's a lot of talk about the Niners moving up.
Whichever way the two tackles go, so the top three, Campbell, Membo, Banks, whichever of those three, whichever two go first, I'm guaranteed, like I said, I'll put money on it. We'll guarantee a force-up trade by some team to go get whoever the third guy is.
Yeah, and they'll take
after that, holy shit, does the depth drop.
They'll take him right before we pick, and then Brock Purdy will
instantly
be
tier 2 tackles after that.
Trent Williams is going to miss 4 to 7 games again. Nobody to back him up now. Dominic Mooney goes down with a little injury. Nobody to back him
left tackle. Right?
And
Houston,
Brock Purdy
bro.
gets his ass nailed again.
Let me put that name out there. Houston trading up to big trade. They've been known for their big trade.
That's one thing I know.
They got rid of their starting left tackle, Blake Fisher, their second round pick last year. I don't know why they have so much faith in him. They have no left tackle
make that bet
for their franchise quarterback.
And show us you make that bet. Go make that bet. Put your money on it. Show us on a short.
I'll bet on the trades, but being Houston is questionable. I can understand why they wouldn't and why they would. I'll make the bet on the general trade for the third tackle, but the team.
Because if you're so sure about,
I like my money.
People, put your money where your mouth is. Go ahead.
If I had a betting site where I could, if I could find that exact bet on a trade site or betting site,
you can trade back to 28 and get Nolan.
I do sports betting in Florida. We got weird laws here.
I don't know. I don't know, Kenny. We never know what's going to happen on draft night.
Sorry, I got us all off track. Dave, in my
We
mind.
could have 4 teams in the top 10 take quarterbacks.
Yeah.
There were 6, I
Two
think,
can take-
last
can
year
take-
in the top 12
You can
picks.
take wide receivers.
Every team is going to be sweating teams like the Saints because again, the Giants and I believe the Browns want to come back into the first round and get a quarterback. But every team's going to be sweating teams like the Saints and shit like that. And if God forbid we see that, we might see a team desperate to really come up and get a quarterback. Like,
Here's what I'll
it's gonna
say
be
real
so
quick.
much fun.
And
So
David knows this. We don't know what the fuck's going to happen. We don't know shit.
that's true.
Nothing
That's true.
we said here today may come true. It's just what it is. That's the
Nothing
best part.
matters.
The best part, man.
That is the
I
best
agree.
part.
It's going to be fun. Make
And
sure
let's
you like
take
and subscribe to David
Your
McNider's
first
channel.
pick, then
by
it's
the way.
not so great.
That's
Sponsored
right,
by
folks. Hey,
John Jay.
somehow I'm up 2 subscribers tonight. Like, that's a miracle. Thank you for subscribing. I
yeah.
appreciate you.
Good job.
Fuck yeah.
So,
Very
and
nice.
hey,
It's good, wholesome
you
content.
know, join us Saturday for the last mock draft episode where I'm going to be trading someone with a pretty big name.
Hmm?
Everyone have a fantastic night. And as Corey Davis says, go Niners and F all 30.